that fit nice together, so the ribs get to you, your loved ones, or your clients in a safe, wholesome manner. Rendezvous ribs are perfect for out-of-town clients, customers, loved ones. We also ship ribs for any occasion.
Where do we order these great ribs?
You can go to www.hogsfly.com or give us a call at 1-888-464-7359.
Charlie Burgos' Rendezvous Restaurant in the alley since 1948.
Welcome to Sports 56 Mornings with Peter Edmonston and Anthony Sane on Sports 56, 98.5 and 96.1. It's time to get your day started. Live from the Family Leisure Studios, here are Pete and Sane.
Yes, sir. The never defeated in the first round. Host. Nobody ever put us out in the first round. And we don't lose, but if we lose, we shake a hand. We ain't walking off the court early. We ain't gonna be like that.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Who gonna beat us though?
Oh yeah.
Who get up this early with this, man? Who? Not you, who? What's up, Pete?
Man.
Oh, let me get on the screen, man.
Ooh, it's early today.
I got
it's
people
early
texting
today.
in saying I can't see your face, Sane.
I know. People are sad. Zach, where are you, Zach? Where are you, Zach?
Where are you?
What's
Off season,
happening?
Z?
You okay? You okay, buddy? You okay? Is Sane gonna, racially slur you again today, or no? Is that?
Oh yeah, I did do that yesterday.
What's gonna happen? Are you still upset about that? Is that what's going on? All that stuff, just very, very, very difficult. Welcome everybody to a brand new edition of Sports 56 Mornings. This is what I like to call a little loopy edition of the program because I got no sleep last night, basically. So we're talking. I was up way late with all the shenanigans going on, and oh boy,
Oh yeah, it was a wild night.
Last night was it was a wild night. A lot of stuff happening. We got 2 eliminations last night, including the Lakers. LeBron James and the Lakers are out with a pretty mostly pitiful performance. It has to be said against the Suns. They're sort of a kind of a halfway-ish comeback kind of thing, but at the end of the day, that was not a very good performance at all from the Lakers. We'll talk about that and what that means for them going forward. Anthony Davis tried to play, and it was disastrous. And
heard he was cleared
Charles
by
Barkley,
Doogie Howser.
As Charles Barkley said, who cleared him? Dr. Kevorkian or
Dr. Seuss is actually who signed off on it.
No, yeah, that was unfortunate there. It was very sad situation. Dr. Isaac Yankum.
Yeah, Dr. Isaac Yankum. Dr. Tishner, actually.
Dr. Pepper. We got after him on that one and said that looked like you're good to go.
Was it Dr. McStuffin? How
Yeah,
about
Doc Martin.
Yeah, Doc McStuffin. No, Doc McStuffin would not have done that. I've seen Doc McStuffin.
No.
She does not. She would not play.
Doc
She
Holliday
would
would have
be
told him to sit his ass
studious.
down.
Yeah. No, Doc would have been like, get out there. Back in my day,
AD, man, this is a championship, man.
Come
this
on,
the
man.
playoffs,
Championship,
man.
Come on, man.
Come on, King.
I can hear Doc. I can hear his voice.
My boy.
Yeah. Come on, Doc. Come on. Get out there. Come on. Yeah.
Oh,
Doc
man.
would have cleared him.
Doc
would have cleared him to play.
Every time I think I'm black, I talk to Doc like, no, I'm not as black as I thought I was. Not nearly as black as I thought I was. Salute to that King, for real. Like Doc really keeps me grounded, for real, though. Like, I do stuff like, okay, what would Doc Holliday say about this?
That's beautiful right there.
Real talk. No jokes on
I
that.
agree with that.
You ask yourself that?
I'm trying to think. Yeah, I do.
Who is somebody you look up to? I got several people I look up to. I consider big bros in media.
Mm-hmm.
Who are some of the people you looked up to in the past or currently or whatever, locally, nationally, whatever?
That's a good question. I got to think about that for a while. I don't know. I never thought of it like that. Really, I have to think about that. That's an interesting question. I never thought of it like that. Like, what would play person X do? I
ain't particularly saying that, but who are people you look up to as guys that you know?
Zach, obviously.
Zach Boyd?
Yeah.
Oh, that was Zach Randolph.
I mean, I didn't have anybody that I looked up to. I just took bits and pieces from everybody that I listened to. So.
See, Zach's acting as if we asked that question to him.
Yeah, we actually didn't, Zach.
Well, either way, I'm telling you.
Yeah, come on, Zach. Come on with it. Yeah, come on with it.
y'all gonna listen to me today.
Hey, that's fine, man.
Zach's like, well, it's interesting. I'm glad that you asked. It turns out here's a funny story. Okay.
Well, first of all, it's neither of you two bums, but
that's right. It certainly isn't y'all. I know who it isn't. I don't know who it is, but I know who it isn't. It isn't y'all. That's right.
Oh man.
Yeah. So in any event,
Anywho,
but everybody keeps me grounded, and that's the important thing, right there.
Hey.
And I don't know. I have to think about that.
LeBron James needs a mentor, though, man. Somebody needs to let him know. Come on, man. You just can't. You can't do that. Can't.
I mean, it was a bad night all the way around for LeBron. We're gonna talk about all that stuff coming up. We're gonna talk about where things stand in the NBA now. We've got really nothing left really to decide other than one series. We got Mavericks Clippers. That's it. Everything else is in the books, as they say. So we'll talk about that. We're going to have our buddy Adam Kramer going to join us, which I'm excited about. Coming up in about an hour's time, Kari Thompson going to join us. Boy, Kari.
Oh man, going. Ooh, finna get him. Ooh, you finna get.
Put through a ringer. It's about to be just. Oh man, we're going to just. Squeeze.
Speaking of the ringer, what is Bill Simmons saying about his boys? What is he saying about his Celtics and Lucky the Leprechaun?
It's been a long time since I read Bill Simmons. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie to you. I just don't feel like I belong there, so I don't participate in reading this stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. It's not my
cup.
I like some of the guys there. I do. I like several of the guys there, but but Bill, I can't get with Bill. Can't get with Bill. Shout out to Dan Devine does a great job. Kevin O'Connor I like. Jonathan Shark's going through a lot of tough stuff in his life right now. Send him prayers. Send him the very, very best. A lot of those guys I like, but not so much Bill. All right, so but I'm interested to see what he has to say about that. He probably wants to be the GM. But knowing him,
they should do something different, let me run the team.
Yeah, he tried to do that with Minnesota. I think he was like, I could run a team. Yeah, he probably could have run it better than he.
Yeah, I don't think it'd be hard to run Minnesota better.
No. I think that would be easy enough to do. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about why the NBA continues to be problematic. I had to stay up late and get after some of these folks.
I saw you, man. I woke up to that.
Yeah, late night. I told you it's late night, man. I'm out here protecting these streets.
Peter, do something different. Send Zach some new hype music for your rant today. Think about it during the break and just come out hard.
Okay, yeah, I will. I'm gonna think about it. That's a good idea. All right, so we're going to do all of that. Coming up, of course, in between all of that stuff, we are going to chat about a number of different things, including some more of the future for the Grizzlies has been settled because the king, he is your king.
It's the king, partner.
And
undisclosed
number of more years. He'll be your king.
Undisclosed. For indefinite.
An indefinite extension of his.
Hey, I'm down, man. When you find a superstar, you invest in him. You keep him long as you can.
Long live the king.
Oh, yeah.
Of course, I'm sure maybe they were under some pressure, from some of the other organizations. They said, look, we gotta lock this dude up.
Yep.
Like when every offseason when John Calipari would be like, man, NC State just called me, and boy, I'm tempted by that Raleigh lifestyle, baby. You never know. And then R.C. Johnson would be like, all right, fine. Here you go. Here's another 2 years and $500,000 more. What do you want? You want hardwood in the office? That's fine. We can do hardwood in the office. What else you want? What do you need? You need a wine dispenser? We got a wine dispenser. That's fine. Meanwhile, Tommy West huddled in a closet, shivering, cold. Football program, $5 to its name. Can I just get a carpet? Shut up, Tommy.
Shut up, Tommy.
You don't care about football.
We don't care about this
Care
crap.
about care about basketball. What is it? What would you like, Mr. Calipari? Absolutely, sir. Wine? Would you like cheeses?
We just got a commitment from Sean Banks. What are you talking about?
Would you like a cheese platter? Look at this.
Who else
Absolutely.
came? Give me another guy, like a little fringe guy from back then.
What about OG? What about Arthur Barkley?
Oh yeah, we just got a commitment from Arthur Barkley. Who's got time to screw around with Memphis football? We got a commitment from Waukee Williams.
That is a true story. That is a true story, by the way. Waukee. Yeah. Was Wesley Witherspoon? Was he in there? Was he into that?
We just signed Jermaine Owsley. What are you talking about?
That is true though. That Tommy West couldn't get his room, like his
I know.
his room required. Cal's got hardwood floors.
Mm-hmm.
Tommy West has got like
as you talk, we have a ton of more stuff to talk
carpet in his office.
We have a ton more to talk about today. But as you talk about this makes me think about. I've been lied to.
Painful. It's painful.
We've been lied to from recruiting people for like decades about different basketball players. Because I remember scouting reports with some of these dudes, and I was like, we just signed Blake Griffin. Like, if you had read Waukee Williams' scouting report, you would thought we got Blake Griffin.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Anyway.
Oh, absolutely. It's been long time, and they just always lied. They've always lied to people. It's painful.
Yep.
It's painful.
Shout out to those.
Walk on this carpet. Man. This carpet's bare. It's painful. Literally.
Man standing on concrete.
It hurts. Painful. This chair.
I'll take my shoes off, man, and
it's not ergonomically sound. It's painful. I got arthritis.
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 That's what my grandma used to say. I think my grandma said that. I don't know.
Oh, man. If you want to join us, you can. 360-8255. 901-360-8255. That is our number on the phone line and the text line as well, open for you. Please feel free to jump in. You can also chat with us whenever you see the video. And there are plenty of different ways that you can find that video if you see it. Pop a little something in the chat box, and it comes right to us. We appreciate that. You can join the likes of the old booty snorkeler out there just doing his thing.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully the snorkeling has been
He'll
good,
be in soon
this week. Yeah, he's a little bit early. Listen, to be honest with you, it's the snorkeling game. It requires late nights and a lot of exploratory activities, and sometimes that doesn't always go well with waking up early in the morning.
But if you notice, snorkeling's been coming in a little later now, with the world opening up and outside being open now. Snorkeling's probably going in. I'm sure he's vaccinated. I wanted to see him require a vaccine card before he snorkels.
I hope so.
Come on, booty snorkel. Come on, man.
I mean, it's 2021. We're in the middle of COVID. I mean, I know that's not.
Let's flatten the curve right here. Let's flatten the curve. He probably trying to flatten the curve.
Booty snorkeler is interested in enhancing the curve. I think that's more.
It depends. Maybe he's trying to spread out the curve.
He's sort of trying to get in between those two peaks. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah.
That's right. He's trying to find that valley. Very important.
Spreading the curve.
Enhancing the curve, I like to say.
Oh man,
riding that curve.
My boy Booty Snorkel.
Riding the curve. God bless him. All right, so all of that is here in the Family Leisure Studios. Welcome in. Thank you for joining us this morning. All right, last night. What was your emotional state watching? I don't know if you watched or not. LeBron and the Lakers go out the way they did. Was there an emotional response?
Two responses
from you.
I had two responses.
Okay.
You want the good one or the bad one?
I want them both. You had two.
Which one you want first, man? I can't. You want me to say them both at the same time? It would sound like gibberish if I did that.
So I want you to make the determination.
I'm asking you, man, just like you did yesterday. You want positive Pete or pessimistic?
I always want the good. Give me the good news first.
All right, this is the good news that I took. I remember when LeBron James came in the league. I remember Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, all these guys. And at that time, I didn't understand my own mortality. I was in my 20s. So I was like, okay. Got these new dudes, whatever. At this point, being 41 years old, and seeing, and I'm not saying LeBron James is done, but seeing LeBron loses for the first time in the first round, seeing his team bail out, seeing his mortality, seeing guys around him fall, and him not being able to carry a bad team past the first round against a good team, I'll give him that. I'm excited to be able to see the next wave of the NBA and it be in anticipation of it. Seeing the Devin Bookers, the John Morant, Luka Doncic, Trae Youngs, the Donovan Mitchells of the world. I feel good knowing that the league is in good hands. Seeing the next generation of stars in the NBA, and also knowing that one of those stars lives in my city. That was a good feeling I had last night as I watched the Lakers lose. The bad side is I'm done making excuses for LeBron James, and I don't mean on the court stuff. The walking off the court was trash. The walking off the court, the leaving the game early was trash. A couple nights ago. The leaving off the court in the second quarter was awful. And not shaking hands with the Suns players after the game yesterday. It's no defense of it. Like, you can't be that guy, LeBron. You are the king of the NBA. You're the king of social justice. You're the king of social work and community service and all those type of things. He's done things with the NBA. He's gave power to the players. He's done things off the court. How many guys do you know that are making movies and doing building all these empires of production and television entertainment while they're in the league? Yes, Shaq did movies, but not on the level like what LeBron is doing now, as far as like creating multiple opportunities, creating millionaires. He's done all these things: TV shows, movies, cartoons, all these things LeBron has done. That has opened up the game while he's still playing. He'll probably be an owner one day. He'll probably own a league or something one day. But that's still inexcusable for the things that he's done off the court. Literally walking off the court this year. All involve him leaving the field of play. And there's really no excuse for it. It doesn't take away from any of his accomplishments because people are saying things, this is why he's not top 3, or this is why he's not the GOAT. He's still one of the best players that's ever put a basketball through a hoop. But I'm disgusted by the way he's going out because LeBron, you're one of the greatest that's ever done it. Let us celebrate old man LeBron. Let us celebrate you in your twilight. But the way that you're doing things now, you're opening yourself up for criticism, and I'm one of his critics right now today.
Yeah, it's there's no question. It's hard to see. It's hard to defend. That was my reaction. I think it's totally understandable. It's been an incredible run. The guy has made finals appearances every season that he's been healthy for a decade. That is like he's played probably 4 extra seasons worth of games, full seasons worth of games on top of the 16 years that he's played in the NBA. So you're talking about a guy that's played more games than almost anyone else in the history of basketball. You're going to get tired. You're going to get hurt. You're going to start to fade. That is life.
You're going to be on teams.
I wish he would do it with a little more dignity.
Yeah.
That's all. I wish he would do
like,
it with a little more self-respect because he's a tremendous player. But I saw multiple times in that game last night watching the game, but even before he sort of walked off at the very end without shaking hands with anybody, without doing the customary kind of dapping guys up and giving love at the end of the series, which everyone else was doing. Even before that, if you go back and watch the video of the game, he had multiple plays toward the end when it was a 12-point game when he just didn't run back down. He just stopped playing. Maybe he was tired, whatever, but he quit. He quit in the game. And as a guy who was a fan of his, it really was. I was shocked.
It was terrible. It was terrible.
It was terrible. Like I think some of the other stuff has been overblown, whatever. But there's no defending what he did at the end of that. So that was a really poor example to set for folks that were watching that. And then afterwards, he's talking about how he's not going to play for Team USA. He's going to play for the Toon Squad this year. And then he flubbed his Space Jam thing, and he said that they're going to play the Monstars. He goes, actually, I guess they're called the Goon Squad now. Like, oh, come on. Do you know your movie or not? I mean, even messed the flub up. It's just bad night at the office. I was just disappointed, man. It's just I don't know.
And here's the thing. I don't know if it was a texter or someone on one of the social messages or whatever. LeBron, this is the team that you asked for. You came to the Lakers when they were the young team, and you didn't want to be there. You didn't want those guys there. Is what I'm trying to say. You pretty much quit in the middle of that season because you didn't see that team getting where you wanted to get. So you quit during the middle of that season. You traded away Brandon Ingram, All-Star. Didn't want Randall there, All-Star. Lonzo Ball is going to get paid this summer. Nice young player. Josh Hart was there. You wanted him gone. And you wanted to keep Kyle Kuzma. How smart does that look in retrospect?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, it's obvious.
And yeah,
again,
you got AD,
obvious.
but do you really have? I mean, he probably would not have won a championship with that team. But this is what he asked for. You wanted Anthony Davis, and what comes with Anthony Davis. We learned
a lot.
And when Anthony Davis not there, you've got one of the Morris twins and a guy with tribal heritage in his hair. Zach.
The tribal hair. The tribe has definitely kicked him out for sure now.
Oh, he's gone.
Clint Capella and the other tribe.
And I don't even know what. If you can tell me which Morris twin plays for the Lakers, you're lying because you don't know. Which one is it, Peter? This is the one that used to be a power forward, the one that used to be a small forward. Which one?
Power forward.
This is Markeith?
Yes.
I didn't know that. Didn't care. Because at one point they became the same dude. I used to tell the difference because one was a big, one was a wing. And now it's like, okay, you're both big.
They're basically the same player.
Yeah, one
is bigger, but they're not. But they're very similar.
They're both forwards now. One was a wing.
They're twins. They are twins. They're literally twins. That's what they are. They look
old, mean, mad dudes that want to fight.
Terrible. Exactly. Yeah. Just terrible.
It's out there just some fake Charles Oakley's out there.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. All right, so when we come back, we'll talk about some of the other effects that have happened as a result of the Lakers fading. A couple things that that piqued my interest last night and irritated the hell out of me, and kind of revealing in some respects too. We'll talk about that when we continue here live and local from the Family Leisure Studios. Pete and Sam with you, Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 98.5, 96.1.
Sports Time with Wallow and Stats. Weekdays from 3 to 6 on Sports 56, 98.5 FM and 96.1 FM.
They've raised the bar again at Homer Skelton Hyundai and Genesis of Olive Branch. I like to say this is the new standard, the way car business should be done. And to prove it, out of 355 dealers in America that sell Genesis cars, the one in Olive Branch, Genesis of Olive Branch, was top 50 in the country, top 10 in the region, and number 2 in the district. And guess what? They want to be number 1. That means there are opportunities out there for you. It's the safest and every new latest bit of technology that makes the experience of driving a car better. They've got it at Genesis of Olive Branch. If we start with the G70, the highest performing car I've ever owned, all the way to the G80 or the G90, the biggest of the sedans, you'll love everything about the car. If you would like to try the new SUV, the GV80, you call Vinny Gerard at 662-890-6684. He will bring it out to you.
Frontier Western Store is open and ready to serve you for all your needs in boots, apparel, pet food, and more. Frontier is proud to be a local leader here in the Mid-South when it comes to boots. Stop by the store today for an incredible selection of name brand work and dress boots. Come browse aisles and aisles of top quality boots at everyday low prices in their world-famous boot showroom. Dan Post, Rocky, Durango, Twisted X, Georgia, Ariat, and many more. There's so many styles, colors, and fits available, you might need a hand picking out your favorites. Luckily, Frontier's knowledgeable sales staff will cheerfully assist you with any questions you have and ensure the proper fit of your new boots. Frontier also has an amazing selection of jeans and shirts by Wrangler, Ariat, and Carhartt, as well as a fully stocked women's boutique department with thousands of tops and dresses at unbelievable prices. New arrivals often. Frontier Western Store, 5880 Goodman Road in Olive Branch, and on the web at frontierwesternstore.com. Family owned and operated since 1967.
Nestled in the heart of East Memphis, located corner of Park and Cherry, is a beautiful residential neighborhood. I'm here at Town Village Audubon Park interviewing a new resident, Carolyn. Share with us why you chose Town Village.
Well, if your parents or special friends need to make that big move, let me share with you my experience. It was tough for me to leave home, but then I discovered Town Village. I would like to highly recommend Town Village to you and your loved ones. After looking at all the amenities and meeting all the people and staff, I was hooked. From restaurant, bistro, 3 meals per day, housekeeping, transportation, security, health care, physical therapy, exercise room, and even a heated pool and spa. Come see us and make your new home at Town Village.
Visit us and call Daniel at Town Village Audubon Park at 901-374-7342. There's no place like home, Town Village.
Listen Sundays at 11 a.m. to join Idlewild Presbyterian Church for worship. Idlewild is a PCUSA church located in Midtown Memphis.
Sports 56 traffic.
Right now, we have a road closure right now. That's Hacks Cross between Holmes Road and State Line Road. That is closed due to a crash early this morning. So if you could just take an alternate route if you can to avoid that area. That's Hacks Cross between Holmes Road and State Line Road. Also, not sure if the traffic has been cleared up here, but the I-55 at Crump heading to the ramp onto the I-55 bridge, that we're dealing with delays as we had a stalled 18-wheeler on the ramp. And that is your Sports 56 traffic update.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Mornings with Peter Edmiston and Anthony Sane. Here once again are Pete and Sane.
The mothership. Top up the chocolate Milky Way. 500,000 kilowatts of P-Funk power. So kick back, dig, while we do it to you in your eardrums. Oh, me? I'm known as Lollipop Man, alias the long-haired sucker. My motto is... Make mine the P-Funk.
Yeah.
I mean, we're going straight. I mean, truly funky
Super
Friday.
funk.
Like, you can't get more funky than that. We gotta get our friend J. Lou is just taking it to a completely different level on this.
I'm about tired of this. Hold on, let me look.
I mean, Jay did take it to a completely different level with his bragging and his putting himself out there like this. Look at this beautiful family he's got. I mean, come on, this is ridiculous.
I'm trying to get like J. Lou, man.
I know J. Lou. Come
on, bro.
This is a man who just
bro.
Just gets it. Look at this man.
I get it. Black excellence. Shout out to you, man. This man got a beautiful wife, kids. Come on.
That's what it's all about, man. Look at that.
Look at. I mean, who actually buys popcorn at the game, man? Like, come on, J. Lou. You come on. You know he's just done.
Hey, a man with floors like that can afford popcorn at the game.
He can afford popcorn at the game.
He can afford popcorn at the game. He probably can afford beer at the game.
Like, son, you want some $20 popcorn? Can I get some, Dad?
Hey, babe.
Pause,
hey, baby, you want a couple beers? You want a couple beers?
It's $10 a piece. You want ain't that?
That'll be $75.
Yeah, it's all good.
We got you. That's no problem. That's no problem.
J. Lou walking the game and say, hey, you know this COVID stuff going on. How much is a whole section, man? I don't want nobody sitting by us. We got you. You know, 20,000. All right. Can I cash app you? You know what I'm saying? Like for real.
I'm getting some serious Uncle Phil vibes. I mean,
he got the Uncle Phil mustache going. You know,
you got the Uncle Phil mustache. He seems like he's got like I feel like he's teaching life lessons on a regular basis.
Yeah, like real.
To just every day is a life lesson for these youngsters out there. Uncle Phil was like a lawyer, a judge. He was a judge, so he had he was doing quite well for himself. They had a nice setup out there. I feel like he's. Mm-hmm. I'm getting some of that, those vibes right there from my good friend Jay.
Yeah. In the words of J. Cole, first things first. Shout out to my guy Jay.
That's right.
AKA
in the word of J. Cole, I'm on my Grizzly. I'm on my Grizzly.
All right. I ain't gonna throw no names up. Petey Pandering over here.
You almost. I was so close. Oh,
Petey Pander over here, man. Yeah, it's all good.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I did do that just to see if you would do that. That was me just testing you at that point. So, congratulations to you for not falling for it. Mm-hmm. All right. So we mentioned the Lakers obviously losing last night. They're out. The Blazers are out as well, and some shenanigans going on from the Blazers too. We'll talk about that later on. I don't want to give them too short a shrift, but the Lakers, being out and LeBron being out for the first time in his career in the first round is a big deal. And a lot of people. I saw a lot of the tweets last night saying, LeBron's out, Steph Curry's out. First time since in 8-9 years that it hasn't been a LeBron team or the Warriors in the finals. So these big look at the markets that are left.
How long has
Milwaukee,
it been?
Phoenix. It's been sent through 29 years, like 9 or 8 years, somewhere in there. It's been the last franchise to win a title that's still remaining is the Mavericks right now. That's still in the playoffs. It's been 10 years for them.
So it'll be a new.
It's gonna be some new faces. And a lot of people, are saying, I see the NBA. Oh, look at the stars that are out. Look at the markets that are left. Adam Silver must be beside himself with anger and furiousness, and this is ridiculous. Oh, boy, I hope the NBA's happy. I hope they're happy about what they got. Man, Zach, I emailed you my music. I changed.
Is it time?
It's time. I'm feeling it. Right. I'm just. See, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something right now. Y'all got to stop this.
Cut that track.
The NBA national media is the most clownish, trash group imaginable. The laziest bunch of so-called journalists.
Ooh. And they fans of teams. Come on, man.
And all their fans they're fans of stars. They're fans of markets. They don't care about basketball. Half the people that cover basketball don't care about basketball.
You ain't lying.
You never heard this from the NFL. You know who's in the Super Bowl? Tampa and Kansas City. The NFL survived. In fact, they thrived.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because they market the product.
Yeah.
They market the teams. They market the shield. What does the NBA market? LeBron, AD, Steph. Oh, God, Giannis is in Milwaukee?
Get him out of here.
Oh, let's start these rumors. When's he going to leave here, boy? I hear he's getting upset.
We got to get Zion.
I hear he's getting Zion is about to, he's, 4 years away. Ja's about to get out of Memphis.
The countdown.
You can't have these teams make it this far? You're saying we got Phoenix?
Phoenix!
We got Phoenix making it?
Phoenix!
Who cares about Phoenix? Denver? Phoenix and Denver? What are these markets? Might as well be Clarksville, Tennessee making it. Clarksville, Tennessee against Fort Wayne, Indiana. What are you talking about?
Phoenix!
Unreal. Care about your product.
Yeah.
How about don't hire people that consistently crap all over the product and crap all over modern basketball? Oh, back in my day, that would have been. These guys would have been out there. Oh, Anthony Davis, you're a bunch of clown. You can't play. Oh, look at these guys shooting a bunch of threes. They should be inside doing all this. I'll beat them all. This big man, I beat them all. All right, every single one of them, I take them down. Better believe it. Big ass starter. Shut up,
Donovan Mitchell.
Donovan Mitchell, you suck. I think you suck, man. How do you feel about that?
To me right now.
Yeah, unbelievable. What is going on?
Do you?
You people. Be ashamed of yourself.
And we got our thoughts.
You got an incredible plethora of young stars all around the league.
Mm-hmm.
And what do they focus on? Who's not there? Oh, Adam Silver. Oh, look at the ratings. Oh, God, the ratings are going to be terrible. Oh, have you ever heard of a self-fulfilling prophecy?
Mm-hmm.
How about try? How about try to market what you got?
Mm-hmm.
Glass not half empty. Care about your product. It's asinine.
Yep.
And it's embarrassing. And why do you have – it reminds me of the Power 5 in college football and everybody else. Why do you even have the small markets? Just contract them all. Have an 8-team league with, 4 teams in New York and 4 teams in L.A. There you go. Perfect.
Yeah.
Then I ruin y'all's vacations. God.
And we talked about this earlier, how the NBA is without a doubt the worst as far as being the guys to protect and cultivate their league. The NFL, at all costs, they speak good about the product. the former players, the commentators, all they protect the future of the league. They fight for the shield.
Protect the shield, baby.
Yeah,
protect the shield
yeah,
at all costs.
NBA guys.
Sometimes it's nauseating. Sometimes it's like, y'all, but they're all on the same page. They protect their product.
NBA guys, man,
it works.
Constantly crapping on the league, man. Like, and it's and the NBA is super enjoyable, bro. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like you're talking about. It's not like you're talking about early 2000 basketball and everything was ISO. Okay, final score was 83-78.
You go back and watch those.
Yeah,
those
go back and watch
games.
These beautiful games that y'all love so much. Go back and watch.
Post up, clear out, post up,
yep.
post up, fade away. Ooh, brick, rebound, post up,
right.
post up, brick, rebound, post up. Oh, God.
Basketball these days is beautiful, man. And it's like these guys are crapping on the league, and yeah, you're what you're saying is valid, man. Like you've got, like I said, the league is in such good hands, bro. You've got your current guys like LeBron, KD, Steph, these type of guys who are, James Harden. Then you got your intermediate guys, your Giannis's of the world, who are your guys.
Look at all these dudes from the 2018 draft.
Yeah.
I mean,
exactly.
Ayton played phenomenal. Trae Young, unbelievable what he did. Jaren is going to be a star. He's got a little work to do to catch up to those guys. But he's got the potential. But Ja, but look at Ja. Ja playing, averaging 30
the league is in
points
great
in the post. It's a great hands.
You've got guys who are super young.
Zion
that are
just
winning
out here with a 50-piece, downing it on the sideline. Incredible. Look at the incredible stamina.
Zion
he's able to do it.
Zion is eating while watching the game.
I've never seen a guy dunk while eating a wing.
Come on, man.
It's incredible. How do you do that? No one else can do that. And not a drummy, a flat. Like he had to get the whole the two bones. He had both bones. He had to. You think about the dexterity of the one hand to dunk while. That's tough.
And he's dipping ranch and honey gold sauce on the
the
side.
Double dip. That's it. Double dip.
Come on, man. Who does it?
Come on. Who better? You didn't see Jordan do that?
Yeah, you didn't see Charles Barkley doing it. Come on, man.
And he tried. God knows he tried.
He tried.
Too small.
Now that's athletic enough. Not ambidextrous. Come on.
Too little.
Too little.
I'm doing
too little. Yeah.
Too little.
The NBA is in great hands, bro. And these guys are like really tripping. Like, what are you talking about, man? Oh, this is what, bro. You know what? The finals are going to be great. Like whoever's there is going to be.
You got Bucks Nets coming up, man.
It's going to be crazy.
I mean, that's a finals. That's good. That's an NBA finals matchup.
Yep.
I mean, that the watching what Jokic and Lillard just did in that last series was unbelievable.
What are you talking about?
What just back and forth, and forth. Incredible stuff. Devin Booker had 33 points in the first half last night.
Michael Porter Jr. last night. Come on, man.
Maga Porter Jr. Unvaccinated out here, raw.
He's like, I ain't got time for that. I ain't got no 48
raw
hours.
Raw dog in the whole league.
I ain't got no 48 hours to be worried about no second shot dose or no vaccine, man. I'm going off. I ain't got time. I'll do that in the offseason. I ain't got time for that right now. I got to drop 30, man. I'm not taking no day off to rest and, fever, chills. I ain't got time for all that. Maga Porter Jr. going wild out there last night. He's like, man, I'm barely hanging on to this back I got. I'm not.
And who wants to watch another LeBron? I mean, like I said, I'd say this with all due respect to LeBron, who I have great. He's phenomenal run, phenomenal businessman. The work that he's done in Akron is phenomenal with the I Promise School. All that's great. I'm not taking anything away from that. But I don't want to see another GM LeBron team out here again. Everybody miserable. You listen to David Griffin talk about how miserable it was to win a championship with LeBron. And at first I thought that's kind of sour grapes. Now I believe it. Like everything. It's either it's never LeBron's fault. It's either injury, some other thing. It's always somebody else, some other issue that came up. Even though he's the one who handpicked the roster, he's the one who put all these guys together.
Yep.
He's the one who made it so fragile and so reliant upon him and Anthony Davis to be able to get everything done. It's always somebody else's fault. It's just tiresome. The coach, everybody looks tired. Everybody looks tired at the end of the run. It makes people worse. They just look happy. Look how happy the Phoenix Suns look. Look how happy people look in other situations. It just.
You ready to go on this Brooklyn train with me, man?
Unbelievable.
With all that being said,
man, yeah, ooh. It's hard not to right now.
Gonna be happy. I'm celebrating for my boy James Harden.
They're definitely the favorites. I mean, because you got with Embiid and his injury now, and then this is the Eastern Conference Finals. I mean, this right here, Bucks Nets, it's the Eastern Conference Finals. Yeah, so
yeah,
whoever comes out of
series,
that's
you talking about some two-way players. Milwaukee's got three legit dudes who going to defend you on both ends, bro. So gonna play you on both ends. So I'm ready for it.
But it's at Milwaukee.
He wants to see that.
Who cares? Bunch of hillbillies. Bunch of hillbillies out here in Milwaukee. Bunch of cheese-eating fatties. Oh, who cares about them? I care about the New York market. Brooklyn, I mean, that barely counts, but I'm really mad about the Knicks still. Still upset about this. I don't get to go to Southern California.
Shame on y'all for thinking the Knicks were for real. Like, come on now.
Unbelievable. I'm already eliminating the Clippers.
Oh, yeah, they done. Hey, what a Luka. Hey, I said this last year. People thought I was just saying it pandering or something. Like, right now, who's the best player in the Western Conference left?
Luka.
Would it be crazy if he drug his team to the finals?
No. I mean, it's him, and Jokic. I mean, Devin Booker's great. I don't know. I mean, I think Jokic is the MVP, but Luka's just been when he's been healthy. Like he had that little neck thing that was bothering him, and you could tell he couldn't pass the ball. But when he's healthy, man, he just takes over the whole thing.
But he's got the extra padding around his neck. He's got got the chilling meat up there, so his neck is fine.
Hey, shout out to Vlade Divac for picking Marvin Bagley over Luka. Nice job, buddy. Mm-hmm. You should never be employed as a basketball professional again for making that choice.
That's facts. When are we going to praise
King?
He's
Eastern European. He's been watching him for the whole time. What are you talking about?
Everybody just knew that he was going to take Luka number one. Didn't he hire some guy that was like Luka's coach or something?
No, that was the Suns. The Suns hired his Slovenian international Igor Kokoshkov. Everything. Oh, he's going to take a number. No, they didn't take him. But they took Ayton. Ayton's at least Ayton's doing some really good stuff. He's not Luka, but he's doing some really good stuff. But that's perfectly defensible, given what's happened now. Mm-hmm. Marvin Bagley, get out of here. Mm-hmm. But I don't care about Sacramento, so I'm glad he's not there because Sacramento's a small market. Who cares about small market? Never seen a bunch of people that hate their product more than national NBA.
So
people.
Is next year the year when you really start getting the good job of Memphis stuff? Is that next year?
It's going to happen for sure. For sure, it's going to happen. That's why I'm glad the Jazz.
Still come.
Oh yeah, I'm glad the Jazz gotten in with Moneybag Yo and trying to really be Memphis guy because it's going to be. You got to be like Giannis, man. Giannis has done a really good job of insulating himself as best he can. From the Milwaukee stuff. He said everybody he likes Milwaukee, he likes being there, he likes family, likes it there. He signed the deal. That's what it is. That's Ja's gonna have to do that. And so far he's doing it.
Are we ready to talk about T. Morant, Grizzlies recruiter?
I like it. We can talk about it.
Sometimes you guys let your dad go out there and be the what's the word they use all the time?
The mediator?
No. The the tamper. Let your dad do the dirty work. Hey, Dad, go holler at.
I mean, it's recruiting. That's what it is. It's recruiting. you got to do what you got to do. All right, we'll come back. Thank you for indulging me on my rant.
Oh yeah, you did well. I'm proud of you.
I appreciate that. It's all legit. It's all legit. J. Lou, we love you too. We love you too, J. Lou. When we come back, Real Sports Stars 156.98.5 96.1.
We are Sports 56 WHBQ. Listen to us daily on AM 560, 98.5 FM, and 96.1 FM.
If you're going on vacation, making a college campus visit, or if business takes you out of town, there's just no better place to board your dog than Barks and Recreation, 965 Ruddock Cove between Bud Davis Cadillac and the Blue Plate Cafe in East Memphis. Boarding, daycare, grooming, we have the best of everything at Barks. Indoor-outdoor kennels so your family member can go in and out as they please. Indoor and outdoor play areas. 4 walks a day, group play, and individual attention from the best staff in the Mid-South, which includes an overnight staff to ensure the safety and comfort of your pet 24 hours a day. All reasons to choose Barks and Recreation above all other boarding and daycare facilities. BarksDaycare.com or 509-0909. Check us out and make your reservations now at BarksDaycare.com. If your dog could speak, he'd say Barks.
I'm Brian Elder. The great Kimmons Wilson of Holiday Inn had a slogan: the best surprise is no surprise. And that's so true. When I sit at your kitchen table, you're going to understand exactly what I'm going to do to your roof. From the underlayment to the hip shingles and ventilation, the flashing, the wood repairs, the cleanup, the crew safety, the warranty. It's amazing how many customers sign contracts being told none of that stuff. But the best surprise is no surprise. Insurance claims. Talk to your friends. More and more claims are being rejected, and only experienced claims specialists are getting those terrible decisions overturned. So if you don't hire me, please hire someone to manage the process with the experience to see it through. The best surprise is no surprise. 867-0303 or BrianElderRoofing.com.
Call 867-0303. Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
At Verizon, we launched the first 5G network. And now, we want to put the power of 5G in the hands of every customer. Trade in your old phone and switch to one of Verizon's best unlimited plans, and you can get a new 5G phone on us. That goes for existing customers, new customers, and businesses. Every customer can now trade in their old broken phone and switch to one of our best unlimited plans and get a new 5G phone on us. Not a Verizon customer? We'll help cover the cost for you to switch, because everyone should get the 5G they deserve. It's the biggest upgrade ever, happening now, only from Verizon. 5G ultra-wideband available only in parts of select cities. 5G nationwide available in 2,700 plus cities. Eligible on Samsung Galaxy S21 5G 128GB and iPhone 12 mini 64GB. Up to $699.99 iPhone or up to $799.99 Android device payment purchase with new or upgrade smartphone line on select unlimited plans required. $300 virtual prepaid MasterCard sent within 8 weeks with porting. Less up to $700 iPhone or $800 Android trade-in promo credit applied over 24 months. Promo credit ends if eligibility requirements are no longer met. 0% APR. Trade-in conditions apply.
Hi, this is John Conway with Conway Services. How old is your water heater? With most of the water heaters in the Mid-South located in the attic, the worst day you can replace your water heater is one day too late. It may be time for a tankless water heater from Conway Services that never runs out of hot water. Plus, these energy-saving models only heat the water you use, saving you money on your gas bill every month. Most 10-year-old water heaters were about 65% efficient when they were new, compared to a tankless water heater from Conway Services that's up to 98% efficient. Plus, right now, get your tankless water heater from Conway Services for as low as $79 per month, or I'll give you $250 for that old tank water heater. And no more worrying about that tank bursting in your attic either. And you know, with over 8,000 5-star reviews, you know Google guaranteed Conway Services will be providing great customer service every time. So call Conway Services, the Mid-South's premier heating, cooling, plumbing, and electric service company at 384-3511. And the first 30 callers with a 10-year-old water heater will come out and inspect it absolutely free.
384-3511. Conway Services. Call Conway today.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Mornings with Peter Edmiston.
Yes, I will be good, I promise.
Co-hosting Sports 56 Mornings is Anthony Sane.
That's great, man.
Now, back to Peter and Anthony.
Woo! Listen to that right there. Oh! Come on now. Zach, you're doing it this morning. You really make it Funky Friday extra funky.
I'm trying to dive back into the vault, you know?
Yeah, this is a little kind of taking it back a little bit, which is nice. Man, this is some.
Taking all the way back, Zach.
Grade A, USDA approved funk right here. Man, it's ridiculous. Out here, people got me mad.
All right, you went out. They needed that mess. I'm sick of that stuff, but NBA is super fun right now.
It's phenomenal right now. Phenomenal.
I think it's what we talked about a couple of weeks ago when it came down to like matchups with the play-in game or who gets in number 7, who gets in number 8, and you know everybody kept throwing out there like, but the ratings, the ratings, like you gotta have Golden State and the Lakers.
Stop it.
Like it's the ratings. I'm like it doesn't matter. Like if the Grizzlies would have take care of business and been number 7, like it doesn't matter. Like you still gonna get Lakers and Warriors like in that late game action. Like it doesn't matter.
I'm gonna tell you one other thing too that we learned last night, that was confirmed last night. Last night we saw the elimination of the other bubble NBA finalist. We saw the elimination of the bubble MVP in Damian Lillard with that literally Mickey Mouse trophy. It had an actual Mickey Mouse trophy. The bubble MVP eliminated. Earlier this week, we saw Brad Stevens more or less quitting because he was burnt out from the whole experience of the bubble and everything else. I'm going to say this. The bubble, the more we look back on it, it was an incredible accomplishment to get the season done in the middle of all of that. I mean, it was an accomplishment, and it saved the NBA hundreds of millions of dollars, billions perhaps. But the cost was huge. You've seen player injuries this year up.
Mm-hmm.
You've seen the teams that were in that bubble have just collapsed completely. The teams that were there the longest, the Heat and the Lakers, both. I mean, the Heat was a pathetic performance. They were all very much ready to be done. And the Lakers, not much better, very much ready to be done, exhausted. We're going to look back on the bubble and realize that the cost of it in terms of player injury, player health, all that stuff,
mental health
was a lot bigger. Mental health was a lot bigger than we realized at the time.
Mm-hmm. And Peter, we had a conversation last week where I, told you about some stuff that was going on behind my doors, and like the isolation part of the quarantine, all those type of things. That part of the bubble is understated. I understated it. I thought it was okay, man. Look, you're getting paid millions of dollars but still, man, that mental. People crack jokes about players saying things about the mental health aspect of it, but it's real. Like that's a real thing. There is a lot of people who the quarantine did something to them, and it's not just like a culture shock thing or you're just so used to being out and there was a third world problems. No, that's like real when you're isolated like this, especially if you're by yourself. Like we weren't meant to be like that, man. You know what I mean? And a lot of people are suffering from those type of things. So physically, mentally, a lot of these guys, like you said, the repercussions of that bubble season are starting to rear their heads. And like that's real though. Like you said, all the teams that were good last year in the bubble, where are they now? Who was in the conference finals? It was Denver and the Lakers, right?
Yeah.
Who was on the other side? Miami and Boston, right? Yeah. No.
Yeah, because the Bucks lost the second round. Bucks lost the
Miami
second
and Boston.
round.
Look at them now.
Denver's the only one still around. And
they've
dealt with a huge amount of injuries. Like they've just like everybody else. I mean, Jamal Murray, who was incredible in the bubble, made that incredible bubble run. He's hurt. He's out. They've lost Will Barton. So they lost huge. Their backcourt is changed. Forever with the Nuggets. Another reason why it's been so impressive from Jokic, the performance that he's put on. We looked at Lillard and you looked at the rest of the Blazers and they've been scrapping and fighting, but they're out. And it's kind of interesting that the one team on the flip side of it, the Suns, really used the bubble perfectly. They shouldn't have been there. There's really no reason for them to even have been there. The NBA just trying to get Zion involved, and the Suns were kind of swept in as a team that didn't really. They went 8-0 in the bubble, and developed chemistry, got together, and built and got something that when they added Chris Paul to that mix, they had rocket fuel. They just they shot up. They did the right thing. Shout out to Monty Williams, James Jones, their staff, their front office. They used that time very wisely, and it made a major difference for them on a positive side. And they were there the shortest amount of time of anybody. They were there, and they played their 8 games. They won their 8 games. They were out. That's it. And it didn't, and so they didn't get the fatigue. They weren't. It was more of a vacation for them than it was an exercise in mental struggles and this indefinite 3 months. I mean, think about that. LeBron and those guys were there
a long time.
They were there for 100 days. The Raptors that were there. The Raptors had to go down there a month beforehand. They were there for literally like 100 days.
Nice
I don't care. I don't care what resort you're in. I don't care where you are. If you're there, you can't go anywhere else.
Your
you
wife
can't
ain't
do
there. Your
anything
kids
else.
ain't there.
Every time you wake up in the morning, you got to be tested. They were tested every single day.
Dump the
Every
nose
time you check into a room,
with the
you
rubber
got to
hose.
boop. Yeah, you got to go boop. You got to boot your little.
Yeah.
You basically you're like under house arrest in a very nice house, mind you, but you're still under house arrest, and you got to go out there and play and all that stuff. Man, you can see why the impact that it had. It was profound. It was profound. So I get the sense from the Lakers last night.
Right. Oh, when that 30 for 30 comes out, though.
Oh, well, what are you gonna do?
Behind the bubble. That joint is going to be crazy. Donovan Mitchell, Jamal Murray. Come on. Got some stories to tell from them dudes.
Shout out to I just retweeted it, but Freezing Cold Takes on Twitter's had a lot of fun today, and he retweeted LeBron James saying last December, Hoop Central said, name an NBA player you think will take a giant leap this season, and LeBron James' answer was Kyle Kuzma.
Boom.
Yeah, I guess he wasn't wrong, but he took a giant leap off a cliff
into the,
to the bottom of the ocean.
It's a dude on the Facebook
Concrete-
group wanted to argue
concrete
me saying
slippers,
that,
baby.
It's a dude trying to argue me saying that Kyle Kuzma is a shooting guard. He could be starting shooting guard for the Grizzlies.
No.
Man, just shut up.
They love Kuzma over there, man.
No, I got to revise the Grizz Facebook. All like we need to go get list too.
Oh,
absolutely.
I got some Phoenix Suns stuff to talk about too in relationship to the Grizzlies. I want to get your takes on that. I got we got a guest coming on today, so I'll sneak it in.
We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it when we continue here. Live and local. Adam Kramer coming up when we return. Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 98.5, 96.1.
It's time to tee it up at Edwin Watts Golf Shops with these hot items for dads and grads. Featuring the tailor-made Sim2 drivers with forged ring construction that enhances distance and forgiveness. And don't miss these hot gifts from Bushnell, like the Tour V5 or the Tour V5 Shift with pin seeker technology, or the Wingman with Bluetooth and audible GPS for distance. Swing by Edwin Watts Golf Shops and get custom fit today. Edwin Watts Golf Shops, home of the 90-day satisfaction guarantee, and shop us online at worldwidegolfshops.com.
They've raised the bar again at Homer Skelton Hyundai and Genesis of Olive Branch. I like to say this is the new standard, the way car business should be done. And to prove it, out of 355 dealers in America that sell Genesis cars, the one in Olive Branch, Genesis of Olive Branch, was top 50 in the country, top 10 in the region, and number 2 in the district. And guess what? They want to be number 1. That means there are opportunities out there for you. It's the safest, and every new latest bit of technology that makes the experience of driving a car better, they've got it at Genesis of Olive Branch. If we start with the G70, the highest performing car I've ever owned, all the way to the G80 or the G90, the biggest of the sedans, you'll love everything about the car. If you would like to try the new SUV, the GV80, you call Vinny Gerard at 662-890-6684. He will bring it out to you.
Hi, this is Troy Five-Ash, owner of Five-Ash Roof Services. You've heard me talk about how we offer the best products, the best warranties, and the best services for years. Now let's talk about pricing. Pricing should never be the only reason you hire a contractor, but in today's world, pricing is always a consideration. So we suggest you get 2 or 3 estimates for your roof replacement from a reputable, licensed, and insured company, and then give us a call. If we can't beat your best price for a comparable roof system by more than $100, we'll give you $100. It's that simple. We are so sure we can offer you the best price, beating all other qualified companies, we will hand you $100 if we can't, and thank you for the opportunity. So give us a call. What's the worst thing that's going to happen? Make $100? Five-Ash Roof Services, a proud supporter of Tiger Athletics and the official roofer of the Tigers home team. Five-Ash Roof Services, fair, honest, and ethical. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
Five-Ash Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
Did you know nearly 40% of men under 40 and over 75% of men over the age of 40 experience sexual performance concerns? At the Memphis Men's Clinic, their experienced physician performs a comprehensive evaluation that determines which specific issues may interfere with your sexual performance. These issues can vary and range from anxiety to medical issues, low testosterone, or erectile dysfunction. The Memphis Men's Clinic has evaluated hundreds of men of all ages over the years and reestablished established a normal sexual life. The Memphis Men's Clinic will work aggressively to resolve issues and allow you to restore your sexual health and overall well-being. That's the Memphis way. If you're 20 years old or 90 years old, come and get cared for the Memphis way. Treatment that's based on your specific needs after a professional clinical evaluation by their experienced board-certified physician. Call the Memphis Men's Clinic today at 901-443-0475 or visit memphismensclinic.com.
Do you know one of the best things you can do for your employees or family's health? Provide Arctic Clear bottled water. Arctic Clear bottled water is your locally owned and operated bottled water provider. Arctic Clear is 100% natural spring water with free delivery and setup, dependable service, and no long-term contracts. What an easy choice. Call Jeff Manus today, 901-382-2363, or visit arctic-clear.com. Arctic Clear bottled water. Call now, 382-2363. That's 382-2363.
We are Sports 56 WHBQ Memphis, W253DF Memphis, and WIVG Tunica Memphis. Flynn Broadcasting Stations. Sports 56 traffic.
We got a new crash on I-40 at Sycamore View. The center lanes are blocked and it's stacking up traffic really, really badly. That's I-40 at Sycamore View. Also, just to clarify, with the accident on Hacks Cross Road, those lanes have been opened back up in both directions. That's that's Hacks Cross Road at Holmes Road at State Line. Those lanes are open. But the only accident so far, I-40 at Sycamore View, center lane is blocked. And that is your Sports 56 traffic update.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Mornings with Peter Edmiston and Anthony Sane. Here once again are Pete and Sane.
I feel like a king, yeah, 'cause I just kissed my baby.
Oh, man. Hour number 2, listen to that funk.
Who used this? Who sampled this song?
'Cause I just kissed my baby.
I don't know.
I
want to say it was EPMD or one of the two members. Might have been. I don't know, but EPMD used. Somebody from EPMD used. I'll play it. I'll find it later.
That's beautiful. It's well worth sampling.
It wasn't a very well known track of theirs. It's one of the deeper cuts.
Deeper cut, ladies and gentlemen. Well, welcome back. Hour number 2 is here. Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 98.5, 96.1. My name is Peter Edmiston alongside Anthony Sane. And, of course, off-season Z, Zach Boyd, doing his thing in the Family Leisure Studios, producing today's program. We've been talking about the wild eliminations last night. Nuggets advance at the expense of the Blazers, and the Suns advance at the expense of LeBron James and the Lakers. Zach Kleiman is re-upped with the Grizzlies. He'll be the executive vice president / GM / head honcho / king of the organization for a little while longer yet, amid some of the big changes that are happening around the world of sports. We'll talk about all of those things and a whole lot more. If you want to join us, you can. 360-8255 on the phone line, 360-8255 on the text line. We're here in the Family Leisure Studios, and we welcome back after a week away visiting his dad, understandably so. I hope it went well for our good pal Adam Kramer at Kegs and Eggs. Adam Kramer, how was the trip up to the Sticks?
Very good. Very good. A lot of golf. Of course, Wisconsin has a wonderful beer selection to tap into. So, no, man, it was good to get away. Golf game, I can report, is still pretty bad. But everything else, good to see everybody. We had a good time.
Oh, I love it. I love it. It's you need to be focusing on that the golf game where you just spin that trackball real fast. That's
exactly. That golf game needs some work too, honestly, relative to where it's been. But that's all right. We'll get it back.
That's all right, man. You got a lot on your plate. It's been a busy time for you, my friend. So I'm happy to see that. Before we talk about some of the world of football stuff that's been out there too, What was your take on the situation last night? LeBron out, the NBA playoffs. Kind of, you're seeing a lot of new blood. For one, I'm excited about it. I like it. I feel like the NBA media has a lot in common with college football media, where there's a lot of focus on the premier programs and a lot of people just downgrading everybody else, not paying attention to everybody else. But I think the sport's in a good place in spite of the fact that the Knicks were out. Sorry, buddy. The Lakers are out. I feel like the sport's still in an excellent position.
I think it'll be very interesting. Not that I'm, ratings guy, TM that, right? I don't want to go all Darren Ravel, but I'm very interested to see what the ratings and interest will be, because I remember in college football writing about this when Michigan State made it, when Washington has made it, and I thought it was wonderful. I enjoyed it because as a purist, it's just something different. And after a while, it does get boring seeing Alabama, Clemson, Ohio State, and then Oklahoma, right? So I think the thing that's different with that, like I think in college football as like a parallel, with Washington, with Michigan State, you knew there was like this very approaching ceiling to what their season was going to be. And you knew that this was fun and they were probably not going to win. This year in the NBA is wild because you don't have a really good sense of who, or at least I don't, who the best team is. Maybe it's Brooklyn, of course. It feels like that with the players that they have, and yet still it feels so wide open. So I think these are really great stories. It's just fascinating when you consider the markets, and again, you equate it back to the media, how these series are going to be treated moving forward. LeBron has just been this fixture for 20 years, right? I mean, he's just been a fixture in these moments, and that is gone. There's still plenty of star power. There's still plenty of interest, and again, I'm with you. I like the fresh faces. These are really fun, good teams.
So let me say this, because this is the part that I don't really understand where this comes in. Like, okay, so for those of us who are in the media world, like I guess there's some curiosity about ratings. Whose ratings are what? Whose ratings are this? Whose ratings are that? Okay, that's fine. And like if you're in a sport where, it's an existential crisis if you don't get ratings, like soccer was for a long time, or lacrosse or something like that, then, like women's golf is trying to become more prevalent on the scene. So everyone's paying a lot of attention to ratings because they want contracts to exist. They want to be able to see it. But we're not into that point. There's no world where there won't be NBA basketball on television. There's no world where there won't be college football on television in one form or another. So the question I have is, who cares about if the ratings are negative or positive? At the end of the day, like I suppose if you're a GM and the trickle down effect, ultimately the salary cap would rise or fall based on a new TV contract and all that stuff. Sure, okay, fine. There's a domino effect there at some point. But like for a fan, like just if it almost feels like you're supposed to apologize for enjoying the product if the ratings are bad. Like, I know the ratings were bad, but I really enjoyed those. Just enjoy it. Why? Who cares? We don't care about. It's like you go see a movie and it finishes like 10th in the box office. Did you like the movie? Okay, great. Then you like the movie. Why do I care? What does it matter where it finished in the box office?
So it's a great point, and it is totally valid. And when we talk about NBA viewership and stuff, I never view ratings in that way. Like, I have no stake in what the heck the NBA's next TV contract looks like. I'm more interested in this as like a social experiment. Will there be a lot of people that watch the Denver Nuggets play basketball? Like, this is a really good team. Are people going to turn on their televisions and watch them? I don't care if they do. I just think this is there's some really unique, and actually look at, a team with Chris Paul and a really fun Phoenix team now that's moving on. Like, what will that emotional investment be in these teams now that they've made it? I don't care what it is. It really doesn't matter if it's zero. I think deep down, I just want it to be larger than I know it will be, right? Like, I like watching them, and I think they're fun. I just think we know the reality of all of this. So do I care what the ratings are? No. I just want them to be bigger than they will be, because people will be missing out if they haven't watched Denver play basketball season. This team has been really, really fun.
Adam, is more markets are in areas where sports gambling is being legalized, and that's just been wide open with, everyone is sports betting now. How much do you think that affects the NBA's future as far as TV contracts are concerned and just their overall feel of where they are as a league with those type of things being so successful?
I think it's huge. It was funny, right? Because I'm in Illinois, and I went up to Wisconsin, and I fired up. I've got all sorts of apps, right, to go bet on some basketball. I was like, oh wait, I can't do that here.
Right
now, look, I'm resourceful. Okay, I've got other means to place wagers. So I did, but it was interesting. It was a reminder, like, oh my God, like this isn't just there yet. So the relation. I think this is really something that probably a sport like baseball could really probably use more than basketball, but all of these sports are going to benefit from this. I think the part that's going to be really, really interesting is not necessarily just the legalization, but the way that sports gambling is going to become almost like exactly. They're going to have it like they do in soccer overseas, where you're going to walk into the stadium. I'm going to walk into the United Center, and as I'm turning left or right, it's going to be, hey, here's the DraftKings Sportsbook. Place your wagers before you sit down, right? That's the part that I think is going to be both a game changer for attendance and all those other things. So, yes, absolutely. Let's get back to the Denver Nuggets. There's a lot of people out there that probably don't care about, how good they are, what kind of offense they run. But if I give you, hey, Denver -3.5, all of a sudden the ears are going to perk up and they say, you know what? I like the Denver Nuggets now. I'm going to watch. And gambling will absolutely change that. We see a state like California going that way, which just think of the revenue and everything else that's going to come with California going down this route. It'll change a lot of things for a lot of sports.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
When I was in Chicago, they told me I had to register in person. And I just started betting this year. This is all new to me. And I was like, I got bougie already, Adam. I was like, no, I'm not. I don't have time for this. I don't have time for showing up at this place. But yeah, that was that was a cultural. That's why I kind of knew I had a problem, man. When I was out of town on vacation, was upset because I couldn't place my bets on Bulls versus
I had
Grizzlies.
the same
you know what I mean?
thing. I had to do it. I fired up the app. I was like, what do you mean? Oh, okay. Well, let me go to this other not to be named source to get my action in. But it has become not only acceptable in such a short period of time. And I don't want to sound like it's degenerate here, but like for me, it's part of my daily routine.
Exactly.
And it doesn't mean I'm betting a ton of money. It means, hey, what's on, who's playing, and how can I invest in that in some way?
Mm-hmm. So you're an investor. You're a day trader. You
there you go. Something like that.
Just happens to be trading on sports. I mean, when people say, "Oh, I'm getting in the stock game." Oh, that's great. Look at you fighting. But when you talk about,
I got stock in JV's double.
I got a little money in the real stock game. I got a little money in the sports stock game. I got we got money all over the place. Diversify your bonds. As Wu-Tang once said, and I think that's important to put that out there for everybody. So when we look at what you're talking about and the idea of betting and gambling and all that, I think it's really interesting, Kramer, that for the longest time, the discussion about gambling, it was this big boogeyman, and it still is in some states and some markets. Like, oh, gambling, you like gambling in college sports especially. Oh my God, you're going to have players taking this. You're going to have ruin the integrity of the game and blah 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 and all this stuff. When in actuality, as we've seen the gambling increase, we've seen no evidence that it has any impact whatsoever on the integrity of the game. In fact, as we've seen with other sports out there, it can actually make it easier to detect issues with games because gambling, the amount of money that's being bet is a lot easier to track when it's a lot more legal. You can actually go and look at the amount of money on game X or game Y or person X or person Y. In tennis, they've used that information to find gambling syndicates that have been trying to throw tennis matches. And if it wasn't legal, you couldn't track that. If it's a bunch of bookies getting together, you can't track what bookies across the country are doing. How would you ever know? It's all cash. It's all hush hush. So I think at the end of the day, Kramer, like all that hypocrisy, it's a lot like the stuff that we hear about, back in the old days when they used to say, Dungeons and Dragons will turn you satanic, and look at the rock music and heavy metal. A lot of scare tactics, man. And I just don't think it's. I think we've seen now it's mostly a bunch of nonsense.
I think being up front with gambling, it is funny. Again, let's go back 5-8 years. Al Michaels, Brent Musburger dropping a very cryptic gambling bit of lingo on the broadcast when the over hits, or a last second touchdown that shouldn't happen, a bad beat, if you will, scores. And I remember it'd be like, ooh, did you hear that? Did you hear what Al Michaels just said? Wow, that is bold.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Wow. He alluded to the fact that people are gambling on it. Taking this out of the neighborhood bookie and into something that is regulated, that is monitored, that is, I'm with you. The college stuff is, I get the concern to some degree, because of course the pay the players. We're betting on kids that, aren't making a wager. Well, we see all that is changing, right? Pretty fast. And look, that's why the sport is hugely popular. So the part that's always bothered me when it comes to all of this stuff, and Roger Goodell used to sort of couldn't deny gambling existed, is this is a huge reason why these sports are popular. March Madness in the bracket, that's probably the worst in terms of the hypocrisy of, we uphold this very serious tournament and blah, blah, blah. So I think getting it regulated, bringing it out in the open, establishing limits, putting things in place for people that, may or may not be able to handle it. I think regardless of how we feel, it's coming. It's here to stay. It is generating just an incredible amount of money and interest, and the impact on it is going to be huge. But yes, let's talk about these things. Let's make it accessible, at least to a degree. And you're right. We could track it. We can monitor it. We know exactly kind of what we're getting into.
Adam, the Twitter and Open Doors came together saying that they're partnering to allow college athletes to use their platform and monetize it, so college athletes can get money. How do you look at this kind of first big major move as far as college players being able to profit off their name, image, and likeness?
I think it's a really good start. I mean, you guys, we've talked about it. I'm not sure anyone knows what this is going to look like, but in terms of kind of getting your brand out there, which seems to be the tactic that a lot of these schools are doing, I think this is the right way to do it, because we know the definition of going by the Twitter world and the larger world. Twitter is a small part. If you talk to people who don't use Twitter about Twitter, they're going to look at you like you're a madman. Sometimes the world there is very small, right? But that being said, if you're a college athlete and you score a game-winning touchdown, or you do something spectacular, you have a Jadeveon Clowney viral moment where he, knocks the guy's helmet off, your life can change really fast, and there's a platform here in which you can monetize that. I think that's really smart. The other element of this that I think is really interesting is, Brett Bielema. By the way, I forgot Brett Bielema was at Illinois for a minute this week. When I saw his comments, I was like, oh my God, that's right, that happened, which is awesome. But I saw his comments, and I'll just paraphrase. I thought he had some of the most intelligent, open, we want to help our guys build their brand. Look, he's saying this to recruit. We all know that. He's saying this stuff because if he doesn't say it, he's not going to get players. And yet still, I find the conversation after all these years very meaningful. A guy like that saying, yeah, we're going to try and do this. We're going to help these guys build their brands. Nebraska, I saw yesterday came up with, what is it? Nil-Braska?
Nil-Braska, yes.
Oh,
Nil-Braska.
That will never be used when they're losing 27-0 after the first quarter with Ohio State. So it's good. It's moving fast, though. This stuff is really moving fast, and it's exciting to see actual partnerships and relationships start to move on this thing.
Yeah, Nil-Braska. This is it's right up there with the Butch Jones turnover trash can on the sideline. That definitely wasn't made fun of at all. It definitely was not a
or what was the other one? The doorway, where it was opportunity is nowhere, right? That was
opportunity is now here, and then it was opportunity is nowhere when you close the door.
that was fantastic.
Oh man, it's
a lovely fail.
How many? What's our limit on the amount of brands we can build? I feel like we got a lot of players here. I don't think we're going to get all these brands in. I don't think. I think we're gonna reach the limit on the amount of branding that we can do with college players.
I think you're right. That's
I look forward to seeing it, but how many brands can you make? This,
it's the trading card philosophy, right? We talked about that a few weeks ago. Like, is the best lineman in the country going to get enough brand building? Of course, any money is money. Like, any money for that person is great.
Sure.
Any notoriety is great. It may help that person get a higher draft pick, right? When you talk about brand building. But in the end, this is going to be Spencer Rattler. It's going to be Sam Howell. Okay, it'll be someone, Devonta Smith. Great. Excellent. We'll get his brand built. It's going to be quarterbacks. It's going to be defensive ends, spectacular, just freak athletes. I honestly, I'm really interested to see how that goes. Now, locally, right? Can you build the brand of somebody? Will that really good safety from Rutgers get that New Jersey love, right? This is the part that I think is really interesting to see is when we talk about, hashtag building brands. Is this something nationally or locally, or what's it going to look like? Because you're absolutely right. The number,
but like
of
the content, like building content, like I see all this stuff, like Texas A&M yesterday became the latest. Every school's got their program now, and it's always like creating custom content for your brand. Like, are we going to have like every outside linebacker being like, all right, smash that like button, guys. Let's subscribe to the outside OLB Colorado State blog to see what's going on, guys, with the latest content from Colorado State practices. What do you like? I mean, I don't know. That's all cool. Like, custom content's great, but
I'm a marketing guy. Okay, I could tell you they have no idea what they're going to do.
No clue, right?
That is something a marketing guy or girl says when they have no idea. Like, custom content. That is so general and vague. That could be an avatar, right? That could be nothing. Custom content. Like, that is such like press release lip service. It's amazing.
Yeah. Oh, I can't. That's what I'm saying. I welcome the opportunity for these guys and these men and women to make money. That's great. I love that, and I hope they do. But I think that this is why I'm a little frustrated by some of this stuff, and why ultimately paying the players is the only thing, and not just allowing them to make their money. It's going to be fine for the Trevor Lawrences of the world and the DJ Ugaleles and all that stuff. Fine, okay, they'll be fine no matter what. But the other players are going to have to be paid to make money. You can't build your digital brand if you're the center for a middling Conference USA team. There isn't a brand to build, and so you might make a few bones here and there from a Twitch stream or something. That's about it. Like, there's not much meat on that bone. So I feel like they're kind of doing an end around of the responsibility they have to actually just pay the players as you should pay employees who are providing a service and are providing a job for you.
But it sounds great, though, doesn't it?
It does. It does sound good. It does sound good. Gotta say
brand
that.
building for college athletes. This is exciting. I mean, this is very exciting that we're talking about. Again, it's like the parallel here is this. It's a lot like the gambling conversation. Wait, you can legally gamble on sports? Wait, star college athletes can actually make money? Like, these two things, it's funny because they're so obvious and right to do, and yet they've been these very oddly, cryptically less discussed things, like when's it going to be the case? Well, it's here. It's going to be clumsy. The rollout is going to be a little bit clumsy. I'll say this. If you're a great quarterback, I think a couple years from now, you'll be in a much better position than a Spencer Rattler will be, because the rollout of this, how to maximize your dollars, true brand building, I guess, if you will, is going to take a lot of time to really sort out.
It's going to be. I mean, I think in addition to the fact that we've got 100% capacity in a lot of places, including right here at the University of Memphis, it's going to make this season very memorable for a lot of reasons. I cannot wait to see how it all plays out. We are not that far away. We are really not that far away. So we're going to keep it rolling. Kramer, enjoy, buddy. Great having you back, and we'll talk again soon.
All right, man. All right, guys. Appreciate you.
He's our pal, Adam Kramer, joining us. Terrific conversation as always from Kramer. When we come back, we'll get into. I know you had a couple things that you wanted to get into also.
I forgot.
I know it's okay. Well, I think
I
think you'll remember it.
Yeah,
I think at some point it always comes back to you. You always forget it, but it always comes back to you. We'll talk about the Grizzlies and Zach Kleiman's extension and what that means for the franchise going forward as we continue here. Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 98.5, 96.1.
Broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studio. We are Sports 56, 98.5, and 96.1.
If ever there was a time for comfort food, this is it. And there's no comfort food like Sunrise on Jefferson. Fresh-made breakfast featuring Sunrise's signature homemade square biscuits or the huge selection of hot, fresh, and fast lunch items are all part of what has always made Sunrise the most comforting of comfort foods in Memphis. Of course, everything that can be done to keep you and the staff safe at Sunrise is a top priority. And you can always order ahead and get delicious Sunrise to go. At a time this confusing, it's good to know there's one thing you can count on: Sunrise.
Mid-South Hobbies has your favorite model airplanes, boats, race cars, and trains to build. With brands you know like Lionel, LGB, and a large selection of Traxxas radio-controlled trucks, cars, and boats. Mid-South Hobbies has all the accessories to make them complete, with thousands of paint colors to make them shine. Reach the sky with rockets and kites, or reach deep into your imagination with action figures, comic book superheroes, and fantasy quest games. Get passionate about your hobby at Mid-South Hobbies. 4862 Summer Avenue, open 7 days a week. Call 901-682-9402.
Acura of Memphis invites you to experience the all-new, completely redesigned 2022 Acura MDX. It's the most advanced SUV Acura has ever built. Experience the convenience of full connectivity, including built-in Alexa, Wi-Fi hotspot, and wireless charging, from the stunning interior complete with third-row seating. Stop by our state-of-the-art facility and take advantage of our aggressive APR offers today at Ridgeway and 385. Or shop online from the convenience of home now. Visit AcuraofMemphis.com.
I'm Brian Elder. The great Kimmons Wilson of Holiday Inn had a slogan: the best surprise is no surprise. And that's so true. When I sit at your kitchen table, you're going to understand exactly what I'm going to do to your roof. From the underlayment to the hip shingles and ventilation, the flashing, the wood repairs, the cleanup, the crew safety, the warranty. It's amazing how many customers sign contracts being told none of that stuff. But the best surprise is no surprise. Insurance claims. Talk to your friends. More and more claims are being rejected, and only experienced claims specialists are getting those terrible decisions overturned. So if you don't hire me, please hire someone to manage the process with the experience to see it through. The best surprise is no surprise. 867-0303 or BrianElderRoofing.com.
Call 867-0303. Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
Looking for a great place to deposit your money? Try First Bank. Competitive CD rates, a money market that moves with Wall Street prime and interest-bearing checking account options. Not to mention their friendly bankers who make decisions locally. To find out more, stop by one of First Bank's 3 local branches: 6482 Poplar Avenue, just east of International Paper, 8398 Highway 64 across from Wolf Chase, and 6280 Highway 64 in Oakland. Or visit firstbankonline.com. Member FDIC.
Sports 56 traffic.
We're still dealing with the accident on I-40 West at Sycamore View. The center lane is blocked. That's I-40 West at Sycamore View. Center lane is blocked, and it is causing a lot of traffic in that area. So if you can, please avoid that area. That's I-40 West at Sycamore View. Center lane is blocked. And that is your Sports 56 traffic update.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Mornings with Peter Edmiston.
Yes, I will be good, I promise.
Co-hosting Sports 56 Mornings is Anthony Sane.
That's great, man.
Now, back to Peter and Anthony.
Resist all the hate that's all around ya. If you taste it, it will hold ya. So come, take me by the hand. We'll leave this trouble land. Yeah. I know we can, I know we can.
I mean, listen to that funk. Man. Woo! Ooh, that just makes you feel good. Makes you feel good on a day like this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Of course you do. Of course you do, Anthony Sane. Welcome back. Our number, what is it? Not one?
Not two.
Three? Oh, it is two.
Oh.
It is two. Not one, not three.
2.5.
Our numero dos is here, ladies and gentlemen, as we continue Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 98.5 and 96.1. My name is Peter Edmondson, alongside Anthony Sane here in the Family Leisure Studios. Zach Boy producing the program today. Hope you guys are having a very good one. Zach Kleiman's probably having a pretty good morning, I would imagine, as he is re-upped with the Grizzlies, extended his contract, terms not disclosed, somewhere between 1 and 300 years is the contract, and it's between $5 and $500 million a year. Somewhere in between those numbers is where it is.
How you know that?
So, that sources told me that it's between $5 and $500 million a year.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Somewhere in between.
$500 million.
And and the contract is between 1 and 1,000 years in length, somewhere in there.
So it's a lifetime deal, pretty much.
So it could be, or it could be a 1-year deal. You never know. We'll see what kind of mood Robert Parra is in. What do you make of the new deal for Zach Kleiman?
Well, Peter, being the person that ushered in Zach Kleiman to you bums a few years ago, I remember the tweet that I shot out of a picture of this man's face, and I was like, "Remember the face." And people was like, "Who's that? Who's that guy? Who?" Just remember the face. This is back when I still used to. This is when I was kind of transitioning out of putting stuff on Twitter, you know. And I was just kind of drop teasers out there. But I put the picture of Zach Kleiman out because I was hearing that he was the guy that was actually making decisions. There was a time I can talk about this now because I think it's pretty much out there. I don't know. He took over He took over being the GM unofficially before he was named GM the next season. That's out there, right?
Yeah, I mean, it depends on how you phrase it. I mean, there's different ways to phrase it.
He took over a lot of the decision making.
He took over. I would say he was given a lot more control. You could say you can make of that whatever you want as far as who was actually doing stuff. I mean, I don't. But there was. Yeah, I mean,
after the botched Dylan Brooks, Marshawn Brooks deal, Chris Wallace's total decision-making power was kind of stripped of him, and Zach Kleiman started to rise in the ranks.
Well, let me also say that. Let me add a little more. Let me add a little more context to that because I think that is true, but I think it's also there's one more little bit of context that's important to that whole thing, which is that there were some within that organization that were agitating for Chris Wallace's role to be reduced for a long time prior to that,
right?
And Chris was a master of kind of
hanging around,
putting him. Yeah, I mean that's what he's a survivor, and he's a great people person, and so he understands how to kind of play the game. And he put himself in a position. Robert Parra, I don't think was really paying tons of attention to what was going on,
right.
And I think Chris was able to kind of keep himself in the mix and was able to kind of do his thing, in spite of what some people were saying internally and externally. But people didn't necessarily like the process, and I don't think Robert Parra was really as dialed in. And so when that happened, when that Brooks thing, the fiasco happened on that epic scale, look at what happened to every GM that was really in charge. They were all gone. Everybody was gone at that point. From the Phoenix side, the Washington side, and the Memphis side, there were changes in all three organizations based on – and it wasn't just based on that, but that was indicative of the way those organizations ran things. In essence, they were sloppy. And Chris Wallace was sloppy. The process was sloppy. There wasn't – and I think, there were people within the organization that had been trying to kind of modernize things or change things for a while. And this gave them a perfect excuse to kind of take this to Robert Parra and say, look at this. Look at this. Look what's happening. Look what's happening right now. Look at you. You're getting embarrassed on national TV. You're getting embarrassed on, and that was enough to and then to start that process that you're talking about. Because it just so happened that they had a bright young legal mind over on the legal side of things who also happened to be well-versed in analytics and basketball culture and who happened to just be very enthusiastic about putting his ideas out there. And lo and behold, that guy was tasked with doing a little more, and before you know it, he's running point on the Marc Gasol trade, and he's in the mix, even if he's not in the mix. It's It was a long time in the making, but that trade, you can make the case that Zach Kleiman would not have a job were it not for that botched trade.
Right. So, and he came in with not much fanfare. There are a lot of people saying, including myself, who didn't expect much out of him, who said basically, this is the same people. Like, these guys were here last year. They didn't bring in a whole new crew. They just kind of hit the reset button with the guys they had in the back somewhere and just start promoting internally. And I was upset about them doing it. But these guys quickly made me eat my words. Because that summer of, I think, 2019, that summer of 2019, super active, man. You know what I mean? Constantly making just small moves around the edges, trading for Dwight Howard, trading for all these different moves they made, just small moves that just turned into bigger moves. Yeah, Kyle Korver, all these moves that they just turned into different guys.
Stuff,
freeing up space, gaining second-round picks. Not to mention the Mike Conley deal, which just set them up so well for so many things.
Drafting Brandon Clark.
Yeah, drafting Brandon Clark. The cap exception they got from the Mike Conley deal, they were able to trade Andre Iguodala into without sending out an asset and gaining a future first-round pick from the Warriors, which may be one of the most valuable picks that a team owns outside of its own out here. You know what I mean? As far as trades go in the future. Like that Golden State Warriors protected first-round pick could be one of the most valuable picks that any team owns. Regardless of all the millions of first-round picks that the Thunder owns, the Memphis Grizzlies might own the biggest trump card as far as first-round picks that are not their pick that the team owns. But they've done a great job, man. They created a culture here. They've got this team well ahead of where they're supposed to be. I don't think our fans I say this all the time, but I don't think a lot of our fans understand that the Grizzlies are not supposed to be this good. Not supposed to be this relevant in year 2 of a rebuild. Year 2. Look at the Sacramento Kings. Look at the Phoenix Suns. You know the Phoenix Suns are a team that could very well be in the NBA Finals this year. Look how long it's been since they've been to the playoffs. Look at a lot of teams across the NBA. That Minnesota. Look at all these horrible teams in the Eastern Conference that would love to be where the Grizzlies are right now. You have to give props to Zach Kleiman and company over there. They do things lock and step. A lot of things we knocked them about, they seem to work for them. They have the GM down to the number 15 player. They're all lock and step. They all have open communication, and they're doing great things, man. And it's a well-deserved extension. And like you said, I'm glad the Grizzlies are locking him in because he's going to be a commodity. He's one of the hotter names. He's one of the names that are getting a lot of buzz in the NBA, and I'm glad that the Grizzlies have locked them up.
I think they obviously heard that buzz, and they knew, now's the time to go ahead and just lock him up for a longer term deal, and because he wasn't, honestly, like his first deal, he wasn't making a bunch of money. He had to prove himself. It was a pretty low stakes deal. So. It's really interesting to go back and think about what would have happened though. One of the biggest what ifs in Memphis. What if they didn't botch that trade? I don't think JB Bickerstaff isn't fired after year 1, or year 1.5, I guess technically, because he was the interim for all that year. I don't think that Zach Kleiman is the GM / executive vice president, whatever they call him. I don't know that they have that shakeup. I don't know that they have that shakeup in the front office. I don't know that they get John Moran. I mean that's another again. That team would probably have been.
They would have tried to build that
record
team,
wise. They would have tried to build that team
around Mike and Mark one more time.
So would they have made those? I mean, it's you could make the argument that botched trade, which at the time was
horrible, embarrassing.
I mean, embarrassing beyond belief. One of the low points of a franchise might have saved the Memphis Grizzlies.
Yeah, that's true though.
I mean, it reminds me of the old parable. There's an old thank you, Zach.
Yeah,
there's no Taoist. I just wanted to.
I thought you were about to go in. I thought there was something to go in.
I was like, no. It reminds me of the old parable about the old farmer who he lost a horse. The horse ran away, and all his neighbors said, "Oh, that's very, very sad." And he said, "Maybe." Horse came back the next day with 3 other horses, wild horses. And his neighbor said, "Oh, congratulations on having all these horses. That's great news." And he said, "Maybe." And then his son tried to ride one of the wild horses who hadn't been tamed, and son broke his leg. And they said, "Oh, that's so horrible, man. I'm so sorry about that." And he said, "Maybe." Well, the next day the Army came by and tried to conscript all the healthy young men to be in the Army, and his son couldn't go because he had a broken leg. And said, "That's great news." And farmer said, "Maybe." You never know in life, man.
Yep.
Point is, you never know. Sometimes things that appear to be great in the moment may turn out to actually be bad. Things that turn out bad in the moment may turn out to actually be great for you. You never know. So don't look at the bubble. Bubble's great for a lot of teams. Well, how's it turned out? I mean, you've got injuries. You never know. Life never prejudge is what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I do think this is much like the players, much like Jaren Jackson Jr., much like John Morant. There is a trajectory for executives as well.
Yep.
You can ask Danny Ainge. It doesn't take you long to go from the hot executive who's got the world at his feet to, hey, why didn't you do something with all those assets that you had? It doesn't take very long for that to happen at all. And this is a very important summer for Zach Kleiman. Now, it may be a summer where they don't end up doing a whole lot. It just depends on how they feel about it. They could certainly run it back. There's I think, some momentum from some areas within the organization to do that. There's other people who probably are of the opinion that they have more work that needs to be done. I think internally they're going to have some debates about how that's going to go. That's great. That's important, all that stuff. But he's the one who's ultimately going to be on the hook for it. And they could choose to run everything back, and they could choose to be, hey, let's get Justice Winslow. Let's go ahead and just pick that option back up, and let's see what we can do with him, and maybe make some trades, maybe use it as a trade ship, or get rid of him and maybe see what you can do in the off season with some of that space. Could they sign someone? Could they trade into that space? That's a really interesting discussion, and it's a big one because it really tells everybody how close you think this team really is.
Right.
And what's your plan going to be for building it?
And that's the thing.
It doesn't get any easier for Zach Kleiman.
I trust that they have a plan. That's the thing I'm not worried about.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they're just kind of just going into the offseason, okay, guys, let's see what happens. I think they've had a plan this entire season of how they'd like to structure this offseason. That's what I'm excited about with this group of guys. Everything they do seems extremely calculated. They stick to their plan. We joke. We've got all these inside jokes, running jokes about data collection. These guys stuck to their plan. And their plan got a team into the playoffs that was not supposed to be in the playoffs in year 2.
Yeah, but I will say I don't think the part of their plan was Justice Winslow to be a giant disaster.
I don't think that either.
That was not part of the plan. No, you got to sometimes you got to pivot and change.
Speaking of pivoting and changing, Peter, we've both stood firm that we believe we both
we done stood firm.
I done stood all day long.
I done stood firm.
We both stood firm, saying that we believe that Justice Winslow will be picked. His contract will be opted out. I'm going to take an about face today, Peter, at 8:45 a.m. on June 4th, 2021. I'm leaning towards that they're going to let Justice go.
I'm still not there. And I think
the only reason they would keep him is because Kleiman wants to see it out, like he doesn't want to be wrong, or they really want to use him as a trade asset. And I wouldn't be mad either way. If they bring Justice back, or if they don't bring Justice back, I can see total justification. Look at that.
Justification
on both sides.
That's got to be the name of his new album. Justification.
Exactly. I'm personally leaning that they're not going to bring him back.
I will think about it. I'm not sure I agree with that, but we'll talk about it when we come back as we continue with hour number 2 live and local. You can join us 360-8255 on the text line and the phone line as well as we continue. Sports 56 Mornings, Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 98.5 and 96.1.
Spend your lunch with Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy on Sports 56 Middays.
Lunchy munchy.
Weekdays from 10 till 1 on Sports 56, 98.5 and 96.1.
I want to do some bragging rights. Hey, I was just the other day overhearing a conversation with Big Mike, the manager of DeSoto Auto Sales. They've got people buying cars all over the country. North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Alabama, Arkansas, Texas. People from all over the country buy cars at DeSoto Auto Sales in Olive Branch, Mississippi. Why? DeSoto Auto Sales has the most stringent car inspection in America. They get it right the first time. Quality and low mileage, factory warranty on most vehicles. My favorite part is the people who work there. Big Mike, all the employees are professional, friendly, and go that extra mile. Expect as you walk in the door, you're treated like family. DeSoto Auto Sales understands your time matters. We can help you find your dream car and get all the paperwork finished in less than an hour. Come see us at DeSoto Auto Sales and be part of our family. Have a great buying experience every time. 662-890-7184. Hewlett & Dunn Boot and Clothing Company, we have it all. From handmade Amish leather belts, fine and casual clothing, boots, casual boots, work boots, fancy boots, and even safety-toed boots. Lots of cowboy hats to choose from, even Nebo lights, Orco hard coolers, good-looking duck head dress shirts, duck head caps, shorts, and pants. Tons of jeans from Ariat, Wrangler, Devil Dog, and Kimes Ranch jeans. At Hewlett & Dunn, we have a great selection of Old South t-shirts and caps, fine clothing from dress to casual to Sunday best. Enjoy choosing from UFO's orthopedic-approved shoes. Hewlett & Dunn Boot and Clothing Company. Boots of every size, every color, every skin. Safety toes, shoes, and great quality hiking boots. Hewlett & Dunn Boots and Clothing Company. 111 North Center Street, Collierville. Hewlett & Dunn. Hewlett & Dunn, serving you and your family since 1961.
Grind City Brewing Company is taking care of beerness in Memphis. Grind City Brewing is the dream of a father and son duo to create a brand that delivers a high quality, great tasting, and easy drinking craft beer. And they've done it. The brewery sits high above the city elevation in uptown Memphis with 15,000 square feet of beerness, including a 5,000 square foot tap room. Grind City Brewing is committed to all things Memphis, including the Tigers. They have created a malt liquor called Tiger Tail that is the official craft beer of the University of Memphis. Tiger Tail comes in 16-ounce six-packs and is not your typical malt liquor. Tiger Tail is crafted with a bold and smooth flavor, has 7.5% alcohol, and its clean finish makes it incredibly easy drinking. Tiger Tail and Grind City Brewing, taking care of beerness in Memphis. There's a new commissary in town in Collierville. Germantown Commissary is doubling. Yeah, they're still going to have the old Germantown Commissary by the tracks, but now there's a huge new Germantown Commissary in Collierville at Poplar and Houston Levee Road. It's huge, too. There's a drive-through. There's plenty of parking, no telephone pole to get in your way, a cool patio. It's right by the track, so the tradition continues. And this is a tradition that's been around forever. That commissary is famous for hickory-smoked, slow-cooked Memphis-style barbecue. They've got a private party room at the new one in Collierville. Self-catering still continues. Party packs for $5.95. Basically, the great ribs, the great pulled shoulder, the great deviled eggs. Everything is there in Collierville and Germantown now. So there is now a Germantown and Collierville style of barbecue. It's called Germantown Commissary.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Mornings with Peter Edmiston and Anthony Sane. Here once again are Pete and Sane.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. LeBron's out. LeBron's out.
Out of here.
You're out of here, LeBron. Hard times, daddy.
He's got a puke.
He's got a puke. He's got a what a maneuver. Oh, my. And then from there.
Mm-hmm.
I miss Vince on commentary. 1, 2, 3. I got it. No, he didn't. Every time.
Who now?
Vince McMahon on the commentary.
Yeah. Why he stopped?
1, 2, 3. Oh, he got it. No, he didn't.
You think Dustin Starr is ever gonna? You think Dustin's ever gonna? Dustin, he lets it be known that he's the guy that's over everything, right?
I think, yeah, I think so. I think it's kind of hard to hide it these days.
Yeah.
Back in the old days, it was a little easier, but yeah, it's way more difficult.
Yeah.
Oh man, absolutely. It's hard to, but I wonder when he's gonna hand the mic
Get in the
over.
ring, man. Yeah.
Let me take over. Let me and you take over on commentary.
Now go with your first mind. Go ahead and just make it all about you, man. Go with your first mind. Don't try to
I mean,
throw
I
me
was
in
gonna,
now, man.
I was gonna do it, but no, I think we need to do it together because it's more fun. I want to do it. And then from there, but only if you do. Are you gonna do Corey Macklin or who are you gonna do? Who's gonna do? You gonna do Lance Russell?
Come on, man.
We gotta do the old school.
You already know who I'm gonna do. Why you ask me?
I can't decide if I want to do Lance Russell or if I want to do Vince McMahon.
You gotta be Lance Russell. I'm gonna be Corey Macklin. Or I'll be what's the other guy's name? He does other sports too. The new guy, Coach Jonathan Coachman.
Oh, Jonathan.
Might do him.
Okay, Dustin Starr, we get it. All right, yeah.
But see, the thing is, he was a heel. Dustin was a heel when he was an actual wrestler, though. So he's like super babyface now. As the owner.
He was. But he was kind of the cool heel, though. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Like he kind of wanted to be sort of NWO-ish kind of thing.
Right.
Like, you know, he wasn't full on just like the Moondogs.
Yeah, pinching babies
just
and
being nasty and just all that stuff. That would
calling people Memphis trailer park trash and all that kind of stuff.
Exactly. Yeah, going with some vaguely racist stuff. Oh boy.
Yeah.
It's a fair bit of that in the Memphis wrestling scene. Actually, in the wrestling scene too. I was working on that one day. I was going to do a supercut of all the just unbelievable racist stuff that wrestling has had over the years. Just edit it all together.
You ain't got enough time to put it all together, man.
I don't think I got enough. I don't know if I got, but I think people forget about just how incredible some of that stuff was. Oh my God.
Saba Simba don't even
beyond belief how racist the stuff they said about these guys. Oh my God. I mean the gimmicks were bad enough, but then the commentary from like Bobby Heenan on like Tito Santana when he just kept calling it the flying burrito and all that. I mean, just consistently. Golly. Just
and women. Stuff. Like, come on, you can do
God.
a whole nother video for that.
Oh, man. Like I said, I definitely don't have enough time for that.
Yeah.
Whew. Man, oh, man. Terrible. Absolutely terrible.
Yep.
All right, so we talked about the off season. And I think we'll find out more. When are the Grizzlies doing their media off-season availability? I haven't heard.
I haven't got the email.
I haven't gotten the email. I haven't gotten the email on that, so I don't know. I guess it should be soon. It should be today or tomorrow.
It might be a Grind City Media exclusive.
Might be. That might be it. No, I haven't heard anything. I guess early. Usually they try to do it as quickly as possible to let guys get out of there and start whatever summer plans that they've got. So
right.
I guess, but we'll find out more coming up when all those guys are made available. You said before the break that you think that Justice Winslow.
I'm leaning towards he won't be here.
Lean towards that. They'll decline his team. Justice Winslow, for those that don't know, has a team option. It's 1 year left on his contract. It's a team option, so the Grizzlies can choose to pick it up or not, to the tune of $13 million. The stakes are this. Absent anything else, there's obviously other factors that are going to be involved in their money and all that stuff. But generally speaking, if they choose not to pick that offer up, they could free up cap space to the tune of about somewhere between 20 and 25 million, depending on how things play out. This is I don't know. None of us outside of their offices have the exact formula, and they don't have it yet until the NBA determines what the cap number is going to be for next year. But let's just say roughly in that neighborhood. Mm-hmm. If they choose to keep him, then they obviously will keep him in the mix and have a $13 million expiring contract, potentially a trade, or to try to do something with, to try to say that, hey, maybe we, this injury was bad. We didn't get a chance to really see him. This is a full off season where he's healthy and he can work on basketball just like Jaren, and we're going to run it back with Justice in the mix. I'm still of the opinion that the logical choice, based on what they've done historically, is for them to pick up the contract. That's what I suspect they will do. Because that's more in keeping with the quote-unquote plan.
Could they pick up some part of the contract? Could they opt him out and then re-sign him? Well, they wouldn't re-sign him for multiple years, though. So.
Yeah, I mean, they could if Yeah, I mean, if they were to decline the offer, it would depend on. So, not to get too in the weeds with the cap stuff, but it basically makes the determination of whether they're going to operate as an over the cap team or a below the cap team. Mm-hmm. And if you offer as a below the cap team, that would give you $25 million, let's say, in cap space. But if they were to re-sign Justice Winslow, it would eat into that cap space. So any signing that they do would have to eat into that cap space. Whereas if you are an over the cap team, then you have access to various, you could have all sorts
mid-level
of
exception,
potentially extension, exceptions, etc. All that stuff as an over the cap team that you don't have as an under the cap team. That's one of the reasons why I think they'll pick up his option and act as an over the cap team, because I think it makes more sense for them to do that based on their roster where it is right now. They really don't have a lot of roster spots open. You're going to add one more draft pick to this group. It's next year when things really potentially open up. Next year could be a real transitional year with a lot of guys, JV, Kyle, et cetera, coming off the books. Justice, if you bring him back, it's a lot of money, a lot of important guys. That's when you can make the transition if you want to.
Well,
that's why I'm leaning towards the pick it up, but it may not necessarily just be because of basketball reasons.
Well, I'll talk about two guys in the third hour, in the last segment of the last 30 minutes of the show. Me and Zach will chop up some guys that if I were to spend a little money this summer, who I would call, and one of which I think would be a pretty, get on the phone, get it done. Welcome to the Grizzlies conversation.
Mm-hmm. I like it.
Might be 3.
I like it.
We'll talk about it.
I like it. Yeah, because I'll be back for hour number 3, but then I've got to depart after the first segment because we got some doctor's appointments for the kids.
It's all good. We got you.
It's hard to get that all stuff squared away. So I had to get the appointment when you can get it. But we'll continue here. Hour number 2 wraps up, and hour number 3 begins after this. Stick around.
Hi, this is Troy 5 owner of 5 Roof Services. You've heard me talk about how we offer the best products, the best warranties, and the best services for years. Now let's talk about pricing. Pricing should never be the only reason you hire a contractor, but in today's world, pricing is always a consideration. So we suggest you get 2 or 3 estimates for your roof replacement from a reputable, licensed, and insured company, and then give us a call. If we can't beat your best price for a comparable roof system by more than $100, we'll give you $100. It's that simple. We are so sure we can offer you the best price, beating all other qualified companies. We will hand you $100 if we can't, and thank you for the opportunity. So give us a call. What's the worst thing that's going to happen? Make $100? 5 Roof Services, a proud supporter of Tiger Athletics and the official roofer of the Tigers home team. 5 Roof Services, fair, honest, and ethical. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
5 Roofing is what we do. We're here for you.
Is your wife asking you to stop eating junk food? Well, we have you covered at Humdinger's. It's quick and it's healthy, and most important, it tastes amazing. With many choices from salmon salad to rainbow trout and grilled asparagus. Come visit us for lunch at Humdinger's, 6300 Poplar Avenue. So good, Coach Penny eats with us weekly. Don't forget, Humdinger's offers full-service catering for weddings, social events, or your corporate lunches. You can call 901-260-8292 to find out more.
I'm Gary York. I'm the service director at Lexus of Memphis. Our service department wants to be more than just a place where you get your oil changed. We do glass repair, windshield replacement, recalibration of your camera and sonar systems, even wheel repair, tire replacement, all the things you would expect from a luxury automotive dealer. Please check out our website. You can schedule your appointment, check out our specials, hours of operation, or if you'd like to do it in person, please reach out to one of our associates at 901-271-5199.
If you're going on vacation, making a college campus visit, or if business takes you out of town, there's just no better place to board your dog than Barks and Recreation, 965 Reddick Cove between Bud Davis Cadillac and the Blue Plate Cafe in East Memphis. Boarding, daycare, grooming, we have the best of everything at Barks. Indoor-outdoor kennels so your family member can go in and out as they please. Indoor and outdoor play areas. 4 walks a day. Group play and individual attention from the best staff in the Mid-South, which includes an overnight staff to ensure the safety and comfort of your pet 24 hours a day. All reasons to choose Barks and Recreation above all other boarding and daycare facilities. BarksDaycare.com or 509-0909. Check us out and make your reservations now at BarksDaycare.com. If your dog could speak, he'd say Barks.
Did you know nearly 40% of men under 40 and over 75% of men over the age of 40 experience sexual performance concerns? At the Memphis Men's Clinic, their experienced physician performs a comprehensive evaluation that determines which specific issues may interfere with your sexual performance. These issues can vary and range from anxiety to medical issues, low testosterone, or erectile dysfunction. The Memphis Men's Clinic has evaluated hundreds of men of all ages over the years and reestablished a normal sexual life. The Memphis Men's Clinic will work aggressively to resolve issues and allow you to restore your sexual health and overall well-being. That's the Memphis way. If you're 20 years old or 90 years old, come and get cared for the Memphis way. Treatment that's based on your specific needs after a professional clinical evaluation by their experienced board-certified physician. Call the Memphis Men's Clinic today at 901-443-0475 or visit memphismensclinic.com.
We are Sports 56 WHBQ Memphis, W253DF Memphis, and WIVG Tunica Memphis. Flynn Broadcasting Stations. Sports 56 traffic.
No new accidents to report today. We're just still dealing with the accident on I-40 at Sycamore View. Traffic is backing up, so just keep that in mind if you head in that direction. That's I-40 West at Sycamore View. And that is your Sports 56 traffic update.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Mornings with Peter Edmiston.
Yes, I will be good, I promise.
Co-hosting Sports 56 Mornings is Anthony Sane.
That's great, man.
This hour is brought to you by Acura of Memphis. Now, back to Peter and Anthony.
Oh, yeah. Come on now.
What they do?
What they do?
They smile in your face.
Oh,
time they wanna take your place.
The backstabbers.
Smiling in your face.
Oh.
It's smiling in your face.
You don't smile in your face, people. I'm trying to tell you.
Man, I wish I had a cool deep voice like that guy.
Oh yeah.
It's smiling in your face. Man, every group had that super deep voice guy that
Yeah.
guy sounded so cool. so cool.
Oh yeah. You know he was the one they just had to just beat the women off of when they went.
Oh my lord. Oh, come on, man. My man in Boys to Men is.
Oh yeah, come on. It's a legend.
You know, I'm sorry for all the wrong I done.
But
please forgive me.
Russell Wilson, he's always got a career, man. He can go do that whenever he wants. Whenever he wants.
Russell Wilson plays every part of the group. You know, he has he's the high voice, mid voice, and low voice. He can do it all.
Yep.
Talking about a multi-talented superstar right there. Danger Russ.
Danger Russ.
Danger Russ. Hour number 3 is here, presented by Acura of Memphis. I am Peter. He is Sane, of course. That's off-season. Z, Zach, not as in Kleiman, though. It doesn't spell it the same way. Even though there's
Zach,
all
what a blown opportunity, Zach.
So many great Zachs out there that are ZACHs. There's really more ZACHs out there now. I don't know where that but Zachary, even though it's Zachary, you won't find a K in there anywhere. He still wants to spell it ZACK.
What a blown opportunity to be Zachary Kleiman today.
Because I'm different than him, man. Just because he signed his contract doesn't mean.
Well, you need to be the same as him because he's doing.
Doesn't mean I gotta be him.
So
he's doing big things, and he signs off paychecks and bring in the players. But I
don't want to hear that.
He ain't me.
There you go, Zach.
He ain't me.
Yeah.
I'm good.
He ain't me. He ain't me. He ain't me.
Respectfully, because I respect the organization and everything that it stands for.
Oh yeah. Look at him doubling back. This man cuts me a check every game. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, look at you. I see you sold out. real sellout on the air right here, man. Man talking all that. No, he ain't ZBZ. Now look at him. Now look at him doubling back. They got to you. They got
That's
to you.
fantastic. Speaking of which, they got Takari as well.
Bring him on.
Thompson
Bring him
joining
out.
us. We got some local breaking high school news to get to.
Oh yeah.
But more really, we got bigger fish to fry because Kari Thompson. Good morning.
Good morning.
What is with your trash organization?
Oh my
and
God.
The disastrous situation, getting rid of you. I mean, Brad Stevens has never run
Nothing but his mouth.
a gas station.
He has no
Hadn't done
experience.
nothing. No experience whatsoever. And now he's running one of the most storied franchises in basketball. What are y'all doing?
Man, I don't know. I really didn't think Danny Ainge, as you know, I really didn't think Danny Ainge was going to hang up the executive sneaks. But I guess he did. And, yeah, the Brad move doesn't make much sense to me, man. Like, it just doesn't make sense. I mean, like you guys said, he has no experience being an executive. I guess this is a Danny Ainge in Phoenix type situation because that's how Danny Ainge became an executive. He was a coach in Phoenix, and then he got hired as GM out there. But for the Celtics to do that with Brad Stevens, I don't know. I don't know. Interesting though.
I mean, the Celtics, y'all could have gotten. I mean, a lot of people pick up the phone if the Celtics call. And say, "Oh, you're gonna run the organization? Oh, great. You guys pay all the history, all that stuff." Y'all go with Brad Stevens. Good Lord.
The organization just loves him though. Like they wanted to keep him around, even if they didn't want him coaching the team.
Imagine that. Imagine that they were comfortable with Brad Stevens. Why would that be? Jeez, I don't know, who could figure that out? It's a real mystery.
Certain molds he kind of fits.
It's interesting how they just have a comfort level with him. They just feel like he's one of their own in many respects. Golly.
Car, who are your personal favorites? Like, who would you like to see be the next coach of this Boston team? A retread, some younger guy? You would think that when you hire Brad Stevens as your GM, you would think that they're going to hire a guy that's probably younger than him.
Taylor Jenkins?
And that also kind of points to maybe a possible rebuild. So what are your thoughts on that as far as coaching, what's next for Boston, those type of things?
I don't know, man. As long as it's not like Jason Kidd. I think of it.
He's just like Jason Garrett.
No, Jason Kidd.
Jason Kidd.
Yeah, he said Jason Kidd. Y'all gotta clean out your ears.
I thought it was interesting that people were bringing up Kara Lawson. I think that would be interesting. Make history as the first woman coach. You got those ties to Boston.
Well, that's not happening.
Yeah,
not in Boston.
You asked me who I'd like to see. I think that would be cool.
But we did ask you who would be your personal pick or whatever.
So your personal opinion, you would like to see Kara Lawson.
Yeah, I think that would be cool. Make some history.
Okay.
Do something different.
All right. What about Mark Averoni? JB Bickerstaff.
Nah.
Becky Hammond. People have talked about Becky Hammond being in the mix.
Yeah, that would be another interesting one. I'm saying the woman coach thing could be interesting. Who else are people mentioning? People are mentioning Lloyd Pierce.
And they should.
And they should. And they should quit that. They should quit that right now. Now here's the question: when things start going badly, as they will next year for the Celtics, who are these players who have been, nurtured by Brad Stevens? Have been Brad Stevens guys from way back. They just going to go to the front office and start talking? It's going to be like Pat Riley back in the day in Miami. So and then he may end up back out on the bench. I think whoever replaces him with the coach going up to the front office, you're just on a train to nowhere.
I think that's interesting. Like you have guys going, Brad, what's up with this?
Brad, this guy's stupid. You didn't do it like this. Why is this guy doing this? Hey
man, look at those lineups, dog.
Exactly. Look at these lineups. It's like, oh, are you gonna Marcus Smart's like, come on, man, give me. You look at the relationship we had, man. Come on, now it's time to pay me. Let's go. Now you know better than anybody how great I am, et cetera, et cetera. I don't know, man. It just seems very weird. There's a lot of potential conflicts that are problematic. Let's just say. Potentially.
I'm saying, Boston's done pretty well with another franchise who has a coach / GM. So, I think it's interesting. I think we need to give it a shot with that. I'm not saying Brad Stevens is Belichick, but I'm saying that everybody got.
Oh my Lord in heaven! We've reached peak Boston right here. This is. God.
How did even?
Sticking with the Eastern Conference card, how do you think the Boston? I'm sorry, of course not Boston. They've been gone. The Milwaukee Bucks versus Brooklyn Nets series. How do you see that one playing out?
I think the Nets in 6 is my pick, man. Don't have too much faith in Milwaukee. I think Brooklyn has too much firepower. That's how I see it playing out. You guys got.
Well,
Did you ask us who do we have?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Your phone is trash, so I can't really make up.
What? I got a brand new phone.
Hey, actually, you do sound
service,
better.
well,
you
your
do
service
sound better, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. You do sound better than you
service
typically
is
do,
not so good.
Yeah,
man.
Come on. You can't get your phone on Boost Mobile.
Yeah.
Come on.
AT&T, man.
Oh, okay.
Come on, man.
You live like in the Midtown area?
You got that.
Downtown.
Yeah. Whenever I'm down there, same thing. But anyway, man, I think the Nets are going to win. I think it's going to be a great series because Milwaukee has those guys defensively. Middleton, Holiday, Giannis, of course, that are just great defenders and guys that can score on the other end. I think that's something that the Nets are going to have to get used to. Guys that are really going to go at them defensively. So, I think it's going to be a good series, but you're talking about 3 juggernauts on the other side. So, I got Brooklyn.
Well, yeah, I think I got to go with the Nets just from a sheer talent perspective, but I think it's going to go 7. It's going to be a great series.
Oh, yeah.
Great
Really?
series. I think I got to go Nets, but it's going to be. That's a finals matchup. That's a finals matchup right there.
Peter, you don't think they're going to take advantage of Giannis not being able to be much of a threat of an outside shooter, especially late in games?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think the Nets will win. I think the Nets will win. I think as much as I love Giannis, as much as I love, I think he's an unbelievable player, fantastic. But no, it's. I think the Nets just too much talent. If they're healthy, it's that starting lineup, man. It's crazy how good they can be. So. I don't know. I think it's going to go 7, though. I think it's going to go 7, and I think it's the de facto Eastern Conference Finals because I don't think whoever comes out of Sixers Hawks has a chance. Ain't happening either way. Now, speaking of moving up the ranks, we got to talk about a local high school story of some significance as the splendidly named and a guy that I called many of his high school games, Joey Magnifico, goes from playing high school football for St. Benedict, going to the University of Memphis, becoming a standout performer, and then going right back at the age of 24 to coaching St. Benedict as the brand new football coach, a coach that is younger than you, Kari, as you begin the process of aging, which will hit you more and more as the older you get, as you start to realize that each day is a march closer to the grave, and you'll begin to realize that as you get older, and you've already realized it right now, Kari Thompson. So I think that's excellent that you're getting a little bit of a taste of that whole situation. This is a guy that's half Zach's age, for crying out loud.
No, you're the only coach younger than me out here.
All right, old man, what do you think about Joey?
Awesome hire. I mean, you get to bring back a St. Benedict legend with a really cool story to lead your program, and you get a young dude who is obviously a fan favorite at Memphis, to hopefully inspire these young men to kind of bring back the football program at St. Benedict. As we know, St. Benedict hasn't been very good in a long time. Haven't made the playoffs in 2018. Had 3 winning seasons in the last decade. They've been 5-14 over the last 2 seasons. So for them to bring in Joey Magnifico, who's one of their own and who, kind of knows what it's like to grind and, surpass expectations, having started at Memphis as a walk-on, that's huge. I mean, I think it's very high. I'm excited to see what it's going to do.
Do you think they're gonna, like, even though in the big picture it's not really that big of a deal? I mean, you're talking about high school football, the program that's definitely rebuilding or whatever, trying to build something. Do you think they're going to give him, because he's super young? You know what I mean? Are they going to give him total control of that program? Is he going to be like? Well, they don't have to do that in private schools like they did in city schools, where you have Penny Hardaway, who's the coach, but there's still another guy that's the sponsor or whatever they do. So do you think they're just going to give him the program, or are they going to, like, have him surrounded by guys that can kind of help him get day-to-day things done as a coach?
I'm sure he'll put together a staff, but, I mean, ultimately, of the day, he's going to be the guy.
Right.
And I think it's important that they let him be the guy because, Joey told me, he's like, I always thought of myself as a future college coach.
Mm-hmm.
So, we know going in that he has ambitions of coaching at a higher level at one point. So obviously he's committed to, taking this job and doing the best he can with it right now. But one day down the line, we might be talking about, future college coach Joey Magnifico.
Right.
So the opportunity, doesn't really make much sense if they're not going to let him kind of run his own program, the ups and downs of building his own culture. So I think it's smart. I just think it's smart to let him, get this experience. Because one day he might be on to bigger and better things.
Yeah, we'll have to see.
He very well might be. We shall see. I think. It makes perfect sense at if you're St. Benedict, and with respect to Marlon Walls, who he's replacing, with respect to some of the previous coaches that have been there, it is not an easy place to win. It's not an easy place to compete. When you look at the rest of the teams that are in D2, the private school sector, they typically have now SBA has increased their investment in football, but you're still talking about going up against the biggest money schools in the area. You're going up against MUS. You're going up against Briarcrest, Christian Brothers. Christian Brothers has got insane facilities. MUS, not going to be far behind. Briarcrest has spent millions and millions of dollars. That's tough, man. So anything that St. Benedict can do to kind of organically increase interest and all that stuff I think it's a smart move for them, because I just think the expectation level is pretty low. You can't expect too much from that team.
I'll say this: St. Benedict was 7-4 in 2018. So if Joey can get them back to that level, that's a start. Like, obviously, I think with the cachet that his name brings in, they probably want him to do even better than that. But let's get back to that level first. No more 2-7. No more 3-8.
That's just going to depend on who you schedule, though. I mean, that's the thing. Like, you can beat 7-4 with a with a favorable schedule. But those 4 are always. It's going to be hard to change that 4 to a 3 or a 2 or a 1.
Right.
That's just so much to ask. It's extremely difficult to do.
Well, they for now, I don't know if it'll stay this way, but they do have the number 2 overall prospect in the country on the roster.
That's true. And
I think
what is he, a tackle? Is he a tackle, guard? Was he?
Yeah, he's tackle, Walter Nolan.
Yeah.
So it's like, if he does stay, it's like, if I'm a kid in the area, like, why would I not want to go play with Walter Nolan and for Joey Magnifico? Like, that's a pretty cool setup. Like,
yeah, get Jordan Wilkins back. That was another fantastic time. He was incredible. So, hey man, I think it's a very low risk, high reward deal. So I got no issue with it. Yeah, I do think it's exciting in the area to have coaches and have names and have guys that are that have that kind of cachet that can get casual folks interested in it. I think it's a great that's awesome. So no, I think it's a smart idea from them.
Agreed.
And is he good to work with for you?
Oh yeah, it was cool, man. It was cool for sure.
Nice guy, good guy for you.
Yeah, and a fan favorite for the Tigers, man. Like, you know, it's always cool when you have someone. We were just watching, you know, dominate on the football field, man. There's so many people in my mentions going, why isn't Joey in the NFL? You know, it's cool that he's coaching, but, you know, why is he playing? I'm like, hey, it's what he wanted to do.
What he wants to do, yeah.
That's what he wants to do, man. Hey, that's what it's all about. And if he does well here, then, yeah, the sky's the limit. He's 24, for crying out loud, so he's just getting started. All right, Kari. Well, sorry about your Celtics being terrible and probably not going to be good again for a long time.
We thank you for sending us Jason Tatum. Protect him next year so we can, you know.
Or Jalen X.
Brown.
Don't get wrong.
Jalen
Jalen X. Jalen X is still in the mix. So look forward to that, too.
Well, I mean, it was tough. It was a tough week, man. Celtics and Grizzlies got eliminated at the same time.
Hey, one's on the way up and one is.
Yep. You kind of meet each other. Sort of trains passing in the if you know what I mean.
Getting trade packages ready, you know?
Come on, man.
The Memphis Grizzlies.
The Memphis Grizzlies in association with Kari.
Jalen X.
Kari Thompson. Salute Jalen Brown.
The Sports Legacy Award. It goes to Jalen X.
The Grizzlies go get him, man. Hey, if you know, come Martin Luther King Day, if there's a Sports Legacy Award for Jalen Brown, come trade deadline. He's a Grizzly. Just know it.
How funny would that be if they only start awarding guys that they want to trade for?
Yeah.
It's like,
just him only.
The Memphis Grizzlies honor Bradley Beal, Jalen Brown,
and Bradley Beal's wife. Like, what? What are we doing? Who? Carl Anthony Towns. What has he done? What's he done for the movement?
I mean, that's not tampering, right? Because you have to talk to the organizations, have to talk to them. So, I mean, that's not tampering at all. The Memphis Grizzlies honor the 2023 Oklahoma City first-round draft pick for its contribution to.
Then we put the Core 4 statue. There's like this mystery fifth statue you pulled out, and it's Jalen Brown. Like, what in the world? Can we do that? No, it's just like this ominous figure, like the unnamed player, but it's obviously
that's right.
It's obviously Jalen Brown with like a box fade and a beard. It's like obviously him.
It's like when Dusty Rhodes was wearing the mask as the Midnight Rider. Like, oh, we know who it is, ladies and gentlemen.
But yeah, thanks, Carl. We
Grizzlies.
appreciate you.
The Memphis Grizzlies honor the mid-level exception that's being used today.
Appreciate your farm league for providing.
That's right.
Like, what? Y'all didn't know the work these dudes was doing in the community?
Look at the Grizzlies just operating around the edges.
Oh man, it's fantastic. All right, Kari, thanks, man. We'll talk to you next week.
Appreciate it. Talk to y'all.
All right, he is our good friend, Kari Thompson. Now older than a coach.
Man, that's wild. For a team that he covers.
That's right.
Yeah,
incredible. Time stops
for no man,
and that includes me because my kids have got doctor's appointments that I've got to get to. So I will say goodbye here in this hour. Brought to you by our friends at Acura of Memphis Online, AcuraMemphis.com, 385 and Ridgeway. Go see them. I look forward to catching up with you after a very, very busy weekend. I hope you guys have a good one. And I know, Sam, when we come back, you've got your plans.
We're gonna talk a little free agents for the next 2 seconds. Yeah.
There you go. Fantastic stuff. So stick around for that. Thank you guys here in the Family Leisure Studios. Saying I'll be back after this.
Listen online anywhere, anytime at sports56whbq.com.
You're scrambling around. You need a haircut. Where you gonna go? I got a place that has 15 locations. I've got a place where details matter. I've got a place that can be invigorating and relaxing at the same time. You know what it is. It's Supercuts. Every haircut ends with the signature hot towel finish. Every haircut matters. When you're getting ready, you go into Supercuts. The stylist will pay attention to every detail. So you get the haircut you want, and of course, you're going to finish with that signature hot towel. You walk out clean, sharp, and not just ready, but super ready. And you might want to ask that hairstylist about what the tea tree experience is. One part invigorating, 1 part relaxing. The Tea Tree experience is something you need to try. 15 locations. I mentioned that, didn't I? All you've got to do is go to supercuts.com. You'll find the one nearest to you. Get super ready at Supercuts.
At Verizon, we launched the first 5G network. And now, we want to put the power of 5G in the hands of every customer. Trade in your old phone and switch to one of Verizon's best unlimited plans, and you can get a new 5G phone on us. That goes for existing customers, new customers, and businesses. Every customer can now trade in their old broken phone and switch to one of our best unlimited plans and get a new 5G phone on us. Not a Verizon customer? We'll help cover the cost for you to switch. Because everyone should get the 5G they deserve. It's the biggest upgrade ever, happening now. Only from Verizon. 5G ultra wideband available only in parts of select cities. 5G nationwide available in 2,700 plus cities. Eligible on Samsung Galaxy S21 5G 128GB and iPhone 12 mini 64GB. Up to $699.99 iPhone or up to $799.99 Android device payment purchase with new or upgrade smartphone line on select unlimited plans required. $300 virtual prepaid MasterCard sent within 8 weeks with porting. Less up to $700 iPhone or $800 Android trade-in promo credit applied over 24 months. Promo credit ends if eligibility requirements are no longer met. 0% APR. Trading conditions apply.
Welcome to Moe's! Have you heard about our generosity program at Moe's? We give back 25% to all of our nonprofits with our Taco Kit fundraisers. They are simple and effective, and we do all the work. Check out our website at allheartfundraising.com. That's ALLHART fundraising.com. Or call me, Jenny Nash, at 901-606-3172. Don't forget about our food truck and catering at $8 per person. Call me at 901-606-3172, and we'll get you set up.
Looking for a great place to deposit your money? Try First Bank. Competitive CD rates, a money market that moves with Wall Street prime and interest-bearing checking account options. Not to mention their friendly bankers who make decisions locally. To find out more, stop by one of First Bank's 3 local branches. 6482 Poplar Avenue, just east of International Paper. 8398 Highway 64 across from Wolf Chase. And 6280 Highway 64 in Oakland. Or visit firstbankonline.com. Member FDIC.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Mornings with Peter Edmiston and Anthony Sane. This hour of Sports 56 Mornings is brought to you by Acura of Memphis. Here once again are Pete and Sane.
Back on Sports 56 Mornings. Here with Zach, we're going to close out the rest of the show. Peter had a doctor's appointment he's got to attend to. We're going to talk about Memphis Grizzlies free agency. The Memphis Grizzlies season, of course, ended 2 nights ago at the hands of the Utah Jazz, who are looking like a true number 1 seed in the West as things go on. Not really sure if they're the team that can come out of the West. They've got some defensive deficiencies because Dylan Brooks was looking like Canadian Michael Jordan. I mean, let's just be honest.
Canadian Kobe
Canadian
Bryant.
Kobe. He was looking like the Maple Mamba. So let's not act like, Utah does have some deficiencies, but, I think they're looking good. But the question is, what can the Grizzlies do this offseason to look like a team that can give a team like Utah, a team like Phoenix, a team like the Lakers, a team like the Clippers, whoever you want to put at the top of the West? How can the Lakers look like how can the Grizzlies look like a better team against those teams going forward? There are 3 names that I'm looking at, and I've got them kind of in tiers. One is a wish. Now, I'm not going to get into the Kawhi Leonard and these crazy names that people like. Let's just be real. I mean, the Grizzlies. This is all speaking in the event that the Grizzlies do not pick up Justice Winslow's option, and they have that $20-something million at their disposal. So I've got 3 guys that I'm looking at. Number 1, if I were to wake up and these are all within the realistic range. Even this one is unrealistic, but he's still within the realistic range, if that makes any sense, Zach. And that person is someone who's an NBA veteran, someone who's a scorer. I think the Grizzlies need somebody that can score off the dribble. They can create their own shot other than Ja. They can make Ja's life easier. They can make Jaren's life easier. Someone that can score in the mid-range. Now, this person might score a little bit too much in the mid-range because he doesn't shoot threes at all. This person I'm looking at is DeMar DeRozan. If I had money to throw around this summer, I would throw like a 2-year deal at DeMar DeRozan around $12, $15 million a year. What say you, Zach Boyd?
I don't know. I think it's it's strange for me because I could very well see this team like run this entire team back.
I can see him running back for sure.
Just as for them to say, all right, yeah, I mean, we could spend money, but Zach LaVine is available in 2022, or the trade chips are more enticing in 2022 when you go after Bradley Beal or whatever. I think, and DeRozan is a pretty good pickup, but I'm not sure about that $12 million you can get to DeRozan.
So you're saying you'd rather not sign that type of guy and just use those funds next year when you got more guys freeing up to go to trade for a guy like Bradley Beal or go after Zach LaVine, someone like that.
Right.
Okay.
Or they can very well do this, and they've been pretty good at signing young talent that haven't had playing time. Because right now Malik Monk's name is in the free agency pool, and I'm looking at his name. I'm like, okay, yeah, I can see a scenario. The Grizzlies give him like a 2 to 3 year deal. It's like, hey, just come on, play with us. We're gonna develop you. We're gonna see what you can give to this team, and we'll evaluate there. Or
I'm gonna tell you why I'm out on Malik Monk.
Go ahead.
I like Malik Monk. I like what he does. I'm a big proponent of you can't bring back Grayson, Desmond Bane, and Anthony Melton. They're all three smaller guards, and I say you can't bring back all three of them. What does Malik Monk do that I feel like an invested in Desmond Bane can't do? You understand what I'm saying? Because Bane was 6 of 8 from 3.
Right.
He shot 8 3-pointers this entire series. And I think that's a travesty.
Wait, he really shot 8 3-pointers?
He shot 8 3-pointers this entire first round.
Or he made 8
He shot 8. He made 6. He was 6 of 8 this entire in the playoffs. 6 of 8. Jaren Jackson, my guy, shot 40. No, I don't know if he shot 40, but he was putting up. He was putting up shots.
He was putting up numbers.
But Desmond Bane only took 8 3-pointers this entire playoff series. I believe that if you invest reps, run plays give him a training camp, let him know he's your starting shooting guard or he's your definite backup shooting guard, Desmond Bane could be everything that you're getting out of Malik Monk for way cheaper. You understand what I'm saying? Like that's the only reason why I say no on Malik Monk, because we've got Malik Monks on our team already.
But I think with Monk's value, because he's only 23, and there are not a lot of teams are going to go after him, especially now.
I think a lot of teams are going to go after him. I mean, I get what you're saying.
A lot of teams with draft capital this upcoming year. I don't think they're going after Malik Monk because they very well could look at this team, look at this draft and say, okay, like I see a couple of guys that can do a better job than Malik Monk can do. And so it opens up the door for the Grizzlies to say, hey, like we'll bring you in. I mean, you're going to be like, 4th or 5th player off the bench or whatever, but we're going to develop you. We're going to try to see what you got. Cuz again, like Malik Monk was like a 3-level scorer with Kentucky.
Right. He was he got OJ Mayo comps.
Right.
Yeah, all that.
So like a shot creator, like that's the name that's the ideal player that I'm looking for. Not, I'm fine with a sharp shooter. Like I'm fine if you are an elite shooter, like I would take you. I would take you in a heartbeat.
Can you start him?
Monk? No. I don't think you can start him.
So that's what I'm saying. You really can't start Bane either. So what are you doing with Bane? You know what I mean? It's like if you sign Monk and you got DeAnthony Melton and you got Grayson Allen already. Like, what are you doing? You know
unless like I said, like unless they're making a move to free up that logjam, And
don't get me wrong, I like Malik Monk.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm one of those guys that pulled for him when he was terrible and high on cocaine. I was pulling for Malik Monk. He was my guy when he was high on cocaine. I was still rocking with him. Another guy I'll throw out. And this guy is, like I said, I think DeMar DeRozan will be a little hard to get because I think that DeMar DeRozan might take less money to go to a Los Angeles, whether it be Lakers or Clippers. That's where he's from. I think he'd take less money to go there. Maybe a team like Dallas, I can see him going to. I can see him vibing with Luka. So, I can see something like that. So he's kind of an unrealistic target for me, even though I love to see him here.
Oh, yeah.
We need a bucket getter, and I think DeRozan would be incredible here. Number 2, this is my guy who I feel you could call him on midnight and say, hey, what you doing? Want to be a Grizzly? We got $10 million for it. Okay, cool. Why not? That sounds cool. Might start? Yeah, we'll start you. You can be our small forward. We'll move Dylan Brooks over to shooting guard. We'll let you be the small forward. You can be our poor man's Duncan Robinson, who I know a lot of guys, everybody wants Duncan Robinson, who I think is going to get severely overpaid this summer. This guy could be our poor man's Duncan Robinson. A couple years ago, he shot 44% from 3. This year, he only shot 38, 39% from 3. But I think if you get him in the Memphis system, rejuvenate him a little bit, tell him you're going to be our Duncan Robinson. We're going to get you 7 to 8 3-point attempts a game. We need you to make about 4 of them. Make about 4 or 5 a night, and we'll be okay. That man, ladies and gentlemen, is a T-shirt waiting to happen when he comes to Memphis. I've got the shirts on the print, on the press right now. Doug McDermott. Open and shut. You can call him. He can shoot. He's got size. Start him or bring him off the bench. Just a bigger wing you got out there that can knock down shots. Easy. If you want to be a Grizzly, hey, why not? That sounds cool. You're an unrestricted free agent. Come on, all right, we'll see you. We'll see you Monday. Here's $10 million. Let's go.
I don't mind it. I take Doug. But can he create his own shot?
No.
And that's where my problem is at.
That don't matter. Just stand in the corner and shoot threes.
I mean, yeah.
Memphis will love you.
I mean, yeah, you'll stand in the corner and shoot threes, but at some point, like you got to have somebody that can create their own shot next to Ja.
He ain't gonna be next to Ja. Dylan's gonna be next to Ja. You gonna move McDermott to the 3, or bring him out the bench at 3.
But I'm saying is
who is your backup wing on the Grizzlies? Who's your backup small forward?
Shit, it's gonna be Justice Winslow.
Exactly.
Gonna opt in
or you got Bane or Melton. You got these little guards out there.
No,
You know what I mean?
No, I'm like I agree with you. Like size on the wings at those wing positions matter.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm for size, but at the same time I'm for shot creators because I think with Grayson shooting the ball really well, Melton was shooting a career high, and Bane pretty much living up to his reputation as a shooter.
I don't want all 3 of them Zoos back. I don't care what Melton did. I don't care what Grayson did. I don't care what Bane did. They look like children against Utah. They all look like little dudes out on the court.
That's fine.
I want one of them back. Make a decision. I want Bane back. Melton, you can go. Your stock is high. The nerds love you. They're gonna blow you up. It's been real. Well, give me Bane. Other 2 guys, we love y'all.
That's fine. But I need more of a shot creator because of what happened when they went up against Utah. Utah had 4 shot creators on the floor. At most, they had 3 of them on the floor at the same time.
And shot makers and takers.
Right. So, and then on the flip side of things, Dylan was out of his mind. Ja was out of his mind. Who else, though? Like, was there another player that stepped up as a shot creator, shot maker, that stepped up? No. And so at this point, it's like I'm looking for a big wing shot creator.
All right, I got one for you.
Whether that's by trade or that's by draft or internal development with Justice Winslow.
I got you, Zach. I got you. I got a guy who's got local ties. He's a playmaker. He can handle the ball. He's about 6'6". He gets buckets. He's got the Yucca factor. He's got the wiggle factor. He got handles. He got kids running around Memphis with his name attached to him, I believe. It's just one thing, Zach. This person has a player option this year, I believe. Let me double check that. I don't want to be wrong on the air. As if I've ever had a problem with that. Yeah. He's got of course, the internet wants to move super slow. I've had the whole show. I've had the whole show to look this up. Yeah, he has a player option.
Okay.
Yeah, he has a player option next year. It's Will Barton. His option next year is for $14 million. I believe that there's a chance that Will Barton could possibly say, yeah, I've got a guaranteed $15 million option with Denver. I believe I wanted to opt out of that last year because I know for sure I could get a bigger long-term deal than this $15 million. I believe I can get $15 million a year for 3 or 4 more years with another team, maybe Denver or maybe with Memphis, a team that I've got connections to. He could be you can start him at the 2, you can start him at the 3, move Dillon to the 2. He could come off your bench and be a super 6 man. He's got local ties here. We'll love him. I also have a Will Barton t-shirt on the press waiting for him to come.
I like that idea.
Those are my 3 guys.
I like it. I don't know.
I'm about 80% sure Will Barton's going to opt out of that deal.
Because what
because he can get more money in the open market. He's got $15 million guaranteed next year.
So you think somebody's going to up his price to
somebody will give him at least that per year, but for 3 years, 2 or 3, instead of having just 1 year. Okay. And I think he wants to pay that. I can see Will Barton like totally opting out of it.
What's your vibes on Spencer Dinwiddie?
I like him too. He was my honorable mention guy. A guy that you could throw some money at. The Nets can't afford him.
Because he has a player option as well.
Mm-hmm. I think he's going to opt out.
I think
I'd love to have him in the backcourt. Like you talk about the Tyus Jones, Ja Morant backcourt. It don't work. Anytime you put Ja one of those small dudes out there,
yeah,
it ain't working. It ain't working. But you give me Spencer Dinwiddie on the ball and let Ja play out the ball. But cooking then
again, like
Cal and Ja works. You know what I mean? When Cal's on the ball. But yeah.
But does Dinwiddie fit that small wing with Grayson and?
But he's an actual shooting guard that can play, make shots, get to the basket,
shot creator, and everything. Yeah.
And he's ready for big moments. It's not like the thing with the whole Melton, Bane, Grayson thing was you played all 3 of them, hoping one of them was gonna have a good game, and that's what happened. This is Bane's good night. This is Melton's night. This is Grayson's night. I want a guy who I know is more than likely is going to give us big moments at the shooting guard position. And that's who Grayson was in the playoffs. I mean, not Grayson. That's who Dillon was in the playoffs. He had to become the shooting guard for this team.
Mm-hmm.
And then you move Kyle over. But I kind of have reasons to believe that I don't think Kyle's going to be back next year. But I will talk about that another time, another day. But those are my guys, man. I've got my fantasy guy in DeMar DeRozan. I've got my super realistic, hey, you want to play for the Grizzlies? Sure. All right, let's make this happen. Guy in Doug McDermott. I think going to be an easy free agent signing.
Right.
And I got my guy who some stuff has to happen for it to happen in Will Barton.
Right.
Those are my 3.
It's still early. Like I said, it's still early in the process. Like we still got to get through the playoffs and the draft lottery and everything.
Right.
But I'm gonna put this out early. Like don't get upset if this team runs back next year.
Which is also a possibility. Because they can do absolutely nothing. They can go draft their guy, do absolutely nothing.
Right.
And they can evaluate to see what they have, do something at the trade deadline, which including bringing back Justice Winslow.
Right.
So.
And then or just play that entire season out and then
no, if they do that,
and then go after
I'm calling for some hits. I need some new players because I need some new T-shirts as well. That's also a
just
Because if you notice, there's certain players on the team I haven't made shirts for them because I don't anticipate them being here too much longer.
Go on, like the D'Anthony T-shirt is like
never happened. It never happened.
It's up there saying all you got to do is just slim it, man.
I had a D melt idea with a D and a melting piece of ice, but it never came into it. It never came forward. It never made it to the surface.
What are your thoughts about signing another big man?
No, not at all. I think we're kind of knee jerk when it comes down to. I think we're kind of knee jerk to the whole Utah thing. You know what I mean? And like I told Peter yesterday, I think that we're kind of undervaluing JV based on him playing the best defensive center in the world.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I don't think that that's fair to do with JV because we've seen JV dominate a lot of little dudes in the NBA. And when I say little dudes, I don't mean short guys that are his height, his size, but they're just not Rudy Gobert. You know what I mean? So I think in the combination of JV as your starting center, getting Tillman to be your backup 4 or backup center behind JV, Jaren getting minutes at backup center, I think you're fine. You just weren't fine against Derek Favors and Rudy Gobert. You know what I mean?
So what's the vibes on Brandon Clark? Because the thing is
I'll say this.
Like Brandon is too slow to play on the wing, but he's not big enough to play.
I'll say this. People saying that they called us out this week, and they said that me, Peter, and yourself, we don't break news. I'll give you some news. Brandon Clark wasn't right. I'll just say that.
Right.
Brandon Clark wasn't right in the second half of the season, and him not playing wasn't a rotation thing. We feel like he can't break us nothing in the playoffs. BC just wasn't right. He hadn't been right for a while. So that's something that a birdie told me yesterday. So I'll let y'all translate that however you want. And when we come back, we're about to take a break. When we come back, we'll talk about, I don't know. We'll figure it out over the break.
This is up in the air, right?
Seriously, we'll talk about something I'm optimistic about as far as the Grizzlies when I see a team like the Phoenix Suns. And some questions I have another question I have going to the offseason. We'll talk about that when we come back on Sports 56 Morning.
Same great shows.
We welcome you back to Sports 56 Middays.
What's up? It's Sports 56 Happy Hour.
A new spot on the FM dial. Check out Sports 56 on our new FM home at 98.5.
Corky's is your home for authentic Memphis barbecue. Our dining rooms are open, or stop by our speedy drive-thru. Order your party packs today, starting at only $5.99 per person.
Golf is back, and so is Miramichi. And just like every other year, there are improvements. This beautiful golf course sits on 330 acres. It provides more than 7,400 yards of championship-level golf, and the beauty that surrounds it is absolutely amazing. And guess what is back too? It's the Miramichi patio. Totally redone, revamped bathrooms, a full service bar, and on weekends, there'll be bands. Oh, by the way, 2 TVs, and it's now open to the public. You don't even have to play golf to catch the view from the Miramichi patio. But if you do want to play some golf, have we got deals for you? Senior golf for Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday down to $30. The standard weekday rates, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, as low as $32. Even on the weekends, it's under $50, and you get golf balls on the range. Play the most beautiful golf course in all of Shelby County. Go check out Miramichi.
I saved big money with the Progressive Home and Auto Bundle, so I finally bought that new set of golf clubs. Watch out, Fairway. Here I come.
This is not a real testimonial. Sure, customers can save big with Progressive, but your other expenses won't just disappear. Are those clubs going to help you when the hot water heater dies? Also, it sounds like your money is better spent on golf lessons.
Time to go shoot the course record.
No, but maybe time for a reality check. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
There's an institution in East Memphis that I love talking about. It's the Spirit Shop at 4848 Poplar Avenue, right down the street from Clark Tower, and it looks like a log cabin. It's been around Memphis since 1969 with a family-owned, friendly, knowledgeable sales staff that is just a wonderful place to go. I love going in and talking wine or bourbons, and they've got such great selection. So if you've not visited the Spirit Shop in a while, it's been remodeled. You'll love what you see when you need spirits. Tell Eddie Wollo said hello.
At Jason's Deli, when you're dining in or picking up curbside, you can expect wholesome food and no surprises, just delicious sandwiches, crisp salads, and quick quality meals made with the freshest ingredients and no artificial trans fats, MSG, high fructose corn syrup, or artificial colors and dyes. Around here, a lot of thought goes into what we put into our food and what we take out of it, because you're not just taking a bite, you're getting a taste of who we are. New items are constantly being created to expand our menu for all tastes and special diets with vegan and gluten-free options available. Convenience and on-time delivery you can count on. It's just a click away at jasonsdeli.com, so whether you need to feed 5 people or 5,000, the team at Jason's Deli, they have the credentials and the commitment to keep you satisfied. Freshness is nearby at Jason's Deli with locations at Ridgeway in the Park Place Center, Poplar and Highland, Germantown Road in Cordova, and on Goodman Road in Olive Branch. Jason's Deli. It's wholesome food and no surprises.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Mornings with Peter Edmiston.
Yes, I will be good, I promise.
Co-hosting Sports 56 Mornings is Anthony Sane.
That's great, man.
This hour is brought to you by Acura of Memphis. Now, back to Peter and Anthony.
Come with me to Chocolate City.
Back on Sports 56 Mornings, final segment of the show. We got people, listeners that have been texting us at 901-360-8255, hitting us up on Twitter, sharing their ideas for who they think the Grizzlies should go after. Now, if you guys are saying weirdo stuff, like if you're saying Kawhi Leonard or LeBron and all these type of things, you know, LeBron needs a young team he can mold, and we're not doing that today. But we have had some interesting people. Zach, give us some of the people read off some of the stuff we've seen on the text box, and I'll give you the stuff we're getting on Twitter.
Let's see here. Jay Lou.
My guy Jay Lou.
Our guy Jay Lou. He said that we need to get that 6'7" or 6'8" body type that can shoot and defend. It could be a rookie or a vet. # long arms.
I agree with you, Jay Lou. Those type of guys would be nice. But when you just kind of describe a guy without a name, I'm not trying to mess with Jay Lou. This is what I'm saying. Like, fans, we do that a lot. But we got to think about a 6'6", 6'8" guy that can shoot, pass, defend, all that. That's like Chris Middleton. I mean, like you just described an all-star. You know what I mean? Like, that guy's not easily to obtain, especially if you're talking about a young guy. So there's like, that guy's not a unrestricted free agent. You know what I mean? So, or he's not a guy that the team's not going to want to keep around. But I feel you. We do need that type of guy on the team. What was the other one that Steven said?
Steven said, what do you think the Grizzlies' offseason priorities?
I thought he had a person. I'm not going to answer it. But here's some of the tweets that I like. My guy Grizz Tiger Man Edwards says, trade for Wiggins and Golden State may throw in a draft pick too. They are over the tax and need to shed money. I liked it. Now, you talk about a 6'8", 6'8" guy that can score and defend. He's not a shooter, but he can get buckets in Andrew Wiggins. I'll be 100% down for that. If the Grizzlies want to, I've been an Andrew Wiggins fan before it was popular anyway. So I think I'd be totally down for them getting Andrew Wiggins. He definitely could be a guy. You can put him and Dillon in your 2-3 rotation.
Yeah.
And you can do some nasty stuff with a guy like Wiggins, man.
Do you think Rudy Gay is quick enough on a wing to play him in small forward at times?
Say what now? Hold on. Let me back up. What school did Wiggins go
to? Kansas.
Okay. My bad. I was thinking Duke for a second. I had to get my mind right. That was what's my other boy?
It's Tatum and
no, they came out with the same year as Wiggins. He's terrible now.
Anthony Bennett?
Yeah, no. Come on, man.
Okay, there's a lot of them.
He plays
man.
for Boston. Boston just signed him. He came out of the same class as Wiggins. I can't think of him. He went to Duke. I get those two confused as far as what school he went to. But no, yeah, I'm thinking the climate thing. But I'd be 100% down if they made a trade for Wiggins. I really want to talk free agency more than trades. But yeah, I definitely can see something like my guy Edward, who's a really smart dude on Twitter as well. A good friend, Chris. She's I don't know if she's being funny on this, but she's being for real. But she said, "What about calling up Jamal Crawford?" Jamal Crawford is 42 years old right now. Now I'm a big fan of the age of the street baller. I'm a big fan of Jamal Crawford, a guy who seems to never get old, but he is old.
He's up there.
Yeah, and he's also a small guard. So I think I'm good on I think I'm good on Jamal Crawford. So yeah,
I love him.
Love him.
Love seeing him play. But I don't know.
Yeah, I think I'm extremely good.
What do you think? Because I had a caller called in and he threw out this name. What do you think about Rudy Gay for a couple of years?
Hold on, is he unrestricted?
Yes.
Man, I was signing Rudy Gay right now. What are we talking about? Yes. Just because it's Rudy, man. I'm one of those people who, I'll say this and I'll name names. Chris Vernon, you fooled me.
What?
I allowed your propaganda, and many other people did as well. Now, shout out to Chris, but I was fooled by the narrative. There was a huge Rudy Gay can't help this team win narrative, and I fell into that. I fell into it, Zach. Like I fell into it that a 6'8" super athletic small forward was a bad thing on a team that was trying to win a championship. And I challenge you to name a championship team that didn't have that on the roster. You know what I mean? Like, for real. Name a championship team that didn't have a 6'6", 6'8"-ish J. Lou guy on the roster. Like, who's the team that didn't have that guy on the team? You know what I mean? So, and I think that I get why people didn't like the Rudy Gay thing when it happened, but I also understand that it was more of I think that it could have been handled better, coaching-wise. Like, game plan-wise, you could have used Rudy and Zebo together, and it could have worked. I say that, but I also knock the New Orleans Pelicans for trying to do the same thing. They've got Brandon Ingram and Zion Williamson who both score the same way on the same parts of the court. But I would love to get one last Rudy Gay run here in Memphis. He's an unrestricted free agent for real?
Yeah, his contract is up 2020.
Man, I would lose it for Rudy Gay to be back here.
I didn't know,
Yes.
I didn't know he was 34, though.
Yeah, I was just about to say that he is old as crap. But I'd love to have Rudy Gay back. For sure.
Because it's I don't know. Like, it's kind of strange because now at this point, Rudy is in that power forward, small ball.
I don't care.
I don't care. Like, I would take Rudy back.
Care. Over a lot of dudes.
Over a lot.
Like, Rudy, we'll give you a good smooth $8 million.
I just need you in the corner at the top of the key, man.
Yeah.
Just wait for it.
Like, you know what, Memphis, you could be a mentor for somebody. I mean, we love somebody being a mentor. We love talking about somebody being a mentor for somebody in Memphis. You can be a mentor for me. Yeah, I love Rudy back. Heck yeah. Right all the wrongs, Memphis. Get Rudy back. And I'm sure that Greg and Eli won't be talking about Rudy Gay when they start off the show.
I doubt it.
I'm sure they got much more to talk about, but they are up next. You guys can listen to them. Stay on the dial. Stay on Sports 56, 98.5. And we'll see you guys Monday, and we are out.